Good morning, swim fans, and welcome to the day 2 of the 2019 Indiana Age Group State Long Course Championship, sponsored by Speedo and Hendricks Regional Health. My name is Adrian Jarding, and I will be bringing you all the action today. We have a full slate of racing here in this prelims, and the swimmers are just about ready to go. First up, we have the 200-meter freestyle relay, events 39 and 40. For those of you who tuned in yesterday, that you know that we had a lot of exciting things happening in finals last night, a number of records broken, and hopefully we can continue to see that throughout the day today. So we are waiting on the officials, all these coaches on deck, swimmers on deck, getting ready to get started. Just for a reminder, these relays are all time finals, so whoever has the fastest time at the end of the night will make the podium, top 8.
Coaches, we want to let you know that your relay cards for this morning's 200 medley relay, event 61 through 64, are due by 10:20 this morning.
We have a good crowd on hand here today, ready to see some exciting racing here in this prelims.
And the time is now 8 o'clock. We're ready to get going here. Day 2 of the 2019 Indiana Age Group Long Course Championship.
So we are just about ready to get underway. Heat number 1. In lane number 3, we have Grace Clarkston for Center Grove Aquatic Club. Lane number 4, Isabella Amaya from Westfield. And in lane 5, Alice O'Brien from Riviera. Once again, this is a 200-meter freestyle relay. Entering the water for Center Grove is Grace DeLuna. Annie Spilito is in for Westfield. And Ellie Hellman for Riviera. Spilito in the middle of the pool for Westfield, leading the charge, coming to the halfway mark. Rachel Engel and now in the water for Center Grove. Alexa Balat for Westfield, and Bridget Collins for Riviera. Coming in for the final leg is Laura Phipps for Center Grove, Kate Peck for Westfield, and Kara Kask for Riviera. Two-way battle at the top of your screen there between Center Grove and Westfield. Laura Phipps trying to mount a charge. But Kate Peck turning on the jets here for the last 25 meters, trying to finish it home. And Westfield Aquatics takes heat number 1 with a time of 1:59.10. In heat number 2, we have Jayla Morris for Fort Wayne. Lane number 2, Demi Hansowitz from Terre Haute. Lane 3, Ella Disjean from Franklin. Lane 4, Allison Williams from Fort Wayne. Lane 5, Eden Meyer from Fort Wayne. Lane 6, Taylor Stasny from Lake Central. Lane 7, Kaylee Myers from Pike. And lane 8, Rachel Dawson from Carmel, excuse me. Entering the water is Delaney Sandberg for Fort Wayne, Claire Parsons for Terre Haute, Amelia Edens for Franklin, Addie Burrow from Fort Wayne, Paige Jennings from Fort Wayne, Brenna Pacheco from Lake Central, Callie Rayfield from Pike, and Paige Wright for Carmel. Coming in for the third leg, Kata Harmon for Fort Wayne, Lyric Irish from Terre Haute, Chloe Thane from Franklin, Tia Hoffman from Fort Wayne, Lainey Brooks also from Fort Wayne, Chloe Thane from Franklin, Aaliyah Decker from Lake Central, Monye Crowder from Pike Township, and Maddie Lathrop from Carmel. Coming in for the final leg, Morgan DeWald for Fort Wayne, Navia Loritzin from Terre Haute, Allison Lacey from Franklin, Chloe Haug from Fort Wayne, Autumn Bruns from Fort Wayne, Abby Harkima from Lake Central, Cassandra Cazavos from Pike Township, and Kate Harrison for Carmel. Four-way battle coming all the way to the finish. Who's going to get their hand on the wall first? Carmel does. 157.43 is good enough to take heat number 2. In the final heat of the prelim session, lane number 1, we have Concord, and that is Jordan Kozek. Priscilla Zavala in lane 2 for Munster, Katie Baracker in lane 3 for Zionsville, Anna Wheel in Dunlin for lane 4, Ava Butterfield in lane 5 for Newburgh, Brooke Cummings from Carmel in lane 6, Kate Mauser from Fishers in lane 7, and Kelsey Wyskowski from Boilermaker. Now entering the water, Madison Weaver for Concord, Jasmine Wegman from Munster, Annabelle Hermasinski from Zionsville, Sierra Jones from Dunlin, Aylin Zerline from Newburgh, Paige Sherman from Carmel, Avery Stein from Fishers, and Zoe Retzloff from Boilermaker. Entering the water for the third leg, Ella Lance from Concord, Angela Renizowski from Munster, Claire McAfee from Zionsville, Rachel Dildine from Dunlin, Sajana Reddy from Newburgh, Ellie Overbeck from Carmel, Sarah Walton from Fishers, and Lauren Facher from Boilermaker. Coming into the final leg, we have Audrey Lance from Concord, Casey McNulty from Munster, Maggie Hadley from Zionsville, Jordan Alders from Dunlin, Chloe Plank from Newburgh, Cindy Warnicki from Carmel, JoJo Ramey from Fishers, and Lauren Salazar from Boilermaker. Charging hard in the middle of the field, Jordan Alders leading the way for Dunlin with the fastest time in the morning, 1:53.93. That'll be the time that teams have to beat tonight if they want to make podium at finals. So now we transition to event 40, the boys 13-14 200-meter freestyle relay. In lane number 3, we have Patton Shar from Riviera, lane 4, Jude Bragdon from Fishers, and in lane 5, Ben Morse from Westfield. The Indiana Association record and the meet record are both 139.56, set by WTSC in 2014. Now entering the water, Jude Bearden from Riviera, Chris Tran from Fishers, and Aiden Yonkis from Westfield. Now entering the water, Aaron Lozelle from Riviera, Hunter Hollowell from Fishers, and Colin Kemick from Westfield. Anchoring is Chance Buckles for Riviera, Tachi Katatoka for Fishers, and Cameron Wheat from Westfield. Kataoka in lane 4 and Fishers trying to mount a charge, but Cameron Wheat holding him off for Westfield. That'll be good enough to take heat number 1 with a time of 1:54.26. In Heat 2, Lane 2, we have Wyatt Seiler for Zionsville, Mason Snyder for Noblesville, Isaiah Peterson in Lane 4 for Fort Wayne, Charlie Furlow from Hoosier Hills Otters in Lane 5, Adrian Bukowski from Boilermaker in Lane 6, and in Lane 7, David Sun for Pro Swimming. From Zionsville is Ethan Hatchett, Luke Whitlock for Noblesville, Ethan Bouchong for Fort Wayne, Liam Ronnie for Hoosier Hills, Matthew Clinge for Boilermaker, and Alex Fleming for Pro. Coming in for the third leg, we have Alika Lee for Zionsville, Shepard Huff from Noblesville, Aiden Ebert from Fort Wayne, Peyton Ford from Hoosier Hills, Ryan Knipp for Boilermaker, and Colin Fleming for Pro. Anchoring for all these teams is Chris Baracker from Zionsville, Greg Enoch from Noblesville, Owen Dankert from Fort Wayne, Justin Banks from Hoosier Hills, Joshua Kim from Boilermaker, and Chris Howell from Pro. Hoosier Hills takes heat number 2 with a time of 1:52.07. For heat number 3, we have Jonah Brandon in lane 1 for Center Grove, Ryan Feller in lane 2 for Newburgh, Jamie Cameron from in lane 3 for Brownsburg, Noah Welter from SWAC in lane 4, James Porterfield from Carmel in lane 5, Emil Haig from Indiana Swim Club in lane 6, Daniel Utterback from Franklin in lane 7, and Joni Hames from Three Rivers Aquatic Club in lane 8. Angelo Lawrence now in the water for Center Grove, Sakath Reddy from Newburgh, Michael Williams from Brownsburg, Austin McRogan from SWAC, Drew Wilhite from Carmel, Ben Bueller for Indiana Swim Club, Brady Campbell for Franklin, and Nick Eddy from Three Rivers. Aiden Linus now in the water for Center Grove, Cy Young the 5th for Newburgh in lane 2, Connor Young for Brownsburg, Noah Van Zwiedem from SWAC, Ryan Conley now in the water for Carmel, Jeremiah Broshiers for Indiana Swim Club, Franco Chirinos for Franklin, and Riley Foote for Three Rivers. Anchoring the final heat of this morning session, Evan Hernandez for Center Grove, Seth Cannon for Newburgh, J.J. Schmidt for Brownsburg, Owen Lindsay for SWAC, Carson Sotek for Carmel, Ahmad Al-Belushi for Indiana Swim Club, Jacob Meitzinger for Franklin, and Adam McCurdy for Three Rivers. Have a close one here at the finish between lanes 1 and 8. And it looks like Three Rivers will get their hand on the wall first. 151.53 will be the time to beat tonight at finals. So now we transition into event number 41, the girls 11-12 100-meter breaststroke. Excuse me, 200-meter breaststroke. At the top of your screen in lane 1, we have Layla Barr from Carmel. Lane 2, Lucy Enoch from Noblesville. Grace Robinson in lane 3 for Southeastern. Claire Francis for Fishers in lane 4. Anna Brames from Riviera in lane 5. Emma Lindeman from Zionsville in lane 6. Arabelle Johnson for Cardinal in lane 7. And Tegan Warner in lane 8 for Duneland. At the halfway point, Tegan Warner for Duneland. First 100 split, 129.89. Coming into the final 50, the race is now tightened up between Kayla Barr in lane 1 at the top of your screen and Tegan Warner in lane 8. Little outside smoke here early this morning. Trying to come in the picture too, Lucy Enoch from Noblesville up there in lane 2. Following along with Kayla Barr. And Kayla Barr finishes first in Heat 1 with a time of 3:08.40. In heat number 2, we have Sadie Leininger for Fort Wayne. Lane 2, Charlie Drew for Irish Aquatics. Madison Weisel for SWAC in lane 3. Alex Hopwood in lane 4 for Carmel. Rachel Garcia in lane 5 for Fishers. Isabella Zyron for Mount Vernon in lane 6. Sarah McPherson in lane 7 for Washington Township. And in lane 8, Madison Conley for Carmel. Coming to the 100 mark, it's a two-person race between Zirin and Sadie Leininger. Zirin had the fastest split, 132.04. Three swimmers at the top of your screen in lane 1, 2, and 3 kind of separated themselves from the rest of the field. Sadie Leininger for Fort Wayne, lane 1, has the advantage coming into the final 50. Also trying to mount a charge down there at the bottom of your screen in lane 7 and 8, Sarah McPherson and Madison Conley trying to come into the picture. But it looks like it's going to be Sadie Leininger from Fort Wayne in lane number 1. Finishes with a time of 3:09.19 to take heat number 2. Time to beat tonight will be by Kayla Barr from Carmel Swim Club, who in the last heat went 3:08.40. So now we transition to event 42, the boys 11-12 200-meter breaststroke. Now in the water, we have Max Malloy in lane 3 for Elkhart United Aquatics, lane 4, Aiden Gubens for Crown Point Swim Club, and in lane 5, Christopher Dravis for Southeastern. Riding high at the halfway point, Max Malloy Splits 130.58 on the first 100. Once again, representing Elkhart. Coming on the final leg of the race, Malloy still with a lead and now building here. Finishing strong is Max Malloy, who takes heat number 1 with a time of 3:11.06. Whoa. Now in the water, we have Grant Hibisky for SWAC, Ethan Crane in lane 3 for Brownsburg, Will Ladine for Carmel in lane 4, Thomas Zimmerman in lane 5 also for Carmel, Vincent Deweese for Newburgh in lane 6, and Aiden Romer in lane 7 for Decatur Township Aquatic Club. The fastest 100 split comes from Aiden Romer from Decatur in lane 7, 135.13. Going into the final leg of the race, Aiden Romer down in lane 7 still holds the advantage. now build a full second lead over Ethan Crane in lane 3. Race tightening up coming into the last 25 meters. Ethan Crane now surging ahead with Will A. Dean. And Ethan Crane gets his hand on the wall first, finishing with a time of 3:16.48. Now in the water for heat number 3, we have Grady Matheson in lane 1 for SWAC, George Patterson in lane 2 for Valparaiso, Luke Feller in lane 3 for Carmel, Caden DeSmet for Valparaiso in lane 4, Alexander Rees for Franklin in lane 5, Eli Velasquez in lane 6 for South Bend Swim Club, lane 7 Ian Sather for Fort Wayne, and in lane 8 Xander Tuttle for SWAC. Three-way race at the halfway mark. Ian Sather for Fort Wayne has the fastest split, 131.25. Going into the final 50, Caden DeSmet for lane 4 for Valparaiso. 2:18.83 is his first 150. And finishing strong is DeSmet. Clock in with the fastest time this morning. 3:04.85 to take heat number 3. The final heat of the morning session. In lane 1, we have Hayden Lynham for SWAC, Corey Hahn in lane 2 for Carmel, Ethan Zhang for Fish in lane 3, Logan Pozwinski in lane 4 for SWAC, Lane 5, Gavin Barnes for Brownsburg. Lane 6, Jack Keyser for Carmel. Connor Laritzin in lane 7 for Terre Haute. And in lane number 8, we have Hayden Weber for Lake Central. Logan Poswinski for SWAC has the fastest split, 127.06. Followed closely by the Carmel swimmers in lane 2 and 6. That is Corey Hahn and Jack Keyser. Poswinski still holds the advantage coming into the final 50 of the race. Setting up for an exciting finish here in the last 15 meters of the race. Corey Hahn in lane 2 and Logan Poswinski in lane 4. Poswinski with the advantage. Will he get his hand on the wall first? He does, finishing with a time of 2:59.14, and that'll be the time that the top 8 swimmers have to beat tonight if they want to make podium. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to Eric Eaton for the next event, event 43, the girls 13-14 400-meter freestyle.
All right, here we go with lane assignments for Heat 1, girls 1400 meter freestyle. This is a timed final event. In lane 3, we've got Alice O'Brien, 14-year-old from Riviera Swim Team. Lane 3 will be Ella Lance, 14-year-old from Concord Swim Club. And lane 5, Kate Peck, 14-year-old from Westfield Aquatics. Again, another timed finals event. First 4 heats in prelims this morning, and then the 5th and final heat will swim tonight with finals. But any of the swimmers in any of these heats are eligible for the win, the overall win, and podium finishes, and can score points at this meet for their respective swim clubs. Coming up on the completion of the first 100 here, in lane 4, Lance from Concord out in a 108.78. This is 8 lengths of the pool. No lap counters in the 400 meter. I'm Eric Eaton. Adrian has gone to switch the cameras for a little bit. running production truck is what we call it. So we'll be halfway through heat 1 here as the swimmers come back to the starting block end. Ella Lance from Concord opening up about a body length lead here in this first heat. 13-14 girls 400 meter freestyle in a timed final event. Second place in lane 5 is Kate Peck from Westfield Aquatics. So Ella Lance in lane 4 splits at a 2:22.99 through 200 meters. She's halfway through the race. Meet record in this event, 4:23.01. Sometimes we see meet records fall in these timed final heats in preliminaries, so we point that out. And sometimes we see meet records fall in heats and preliminaries that aren't timed finals as well. As this is a very fast pool. No fast lanes here at the IU Natatorium. Lane 1, by the way, at the top of your screen here at the IU Natatorium. Lane 8 at the bottom of your screen. Here comes your leader, Ella Lance, in lane 4 from Concord. Has 100 meters left. She comes through 300 meters at looks like 3:38.55. And a really good battle for second between O'Brien in lane 3 and Peck in lane 5. Splitting them in the middle is the leader, Lance. So Lance heads down to the far end of the pool to make her final flip turn here of this race. Heat 1, 13-14 girls 400 meter freestyle, timed final. And Ella Lance stops the clock at a time of 4:52.50, so that's going to be the time to beat in this event. Second place, Alice O'Brien goes a 4:54.77. On to Heat 2, 13-14 girls 400 meter freestyle. Time final in lane 1, Chloe Hogue, 14-year-old from Fort Wayne swim team. Lane 2 is Maggie Morse, 13-year-old out of the Crown Point Swim Club. Lane 3, Anna Wheel, 14-year-old from Duneland Swim Club. Lane 4 is Cece Farrell, 14-year-old from Irish Aquatics. Lane 5 will be Angelica Rezinikowski, 14-year-old from Munster Swim Club. Lane 6 is Jasmine Wegman, 13-year-old from the Munster Swim Club. And in lane 7 is Abby Wensick, 14-year-old from Irish Aquatics. So once again, an 8-lap race here, the 400 meters. The leader in through the first 100 meters will be in lane 3. That's Anna Wheel out of Duneland. We've got 5 heats of the 13-14 girls 400 meter freestyle. The 5th and final heat will swim tonight in finals. So you can catch that on our webcast tonight. here on the Indiana Swimming YouTube channel. Final start tonight here at the IUN Auditorium, 5 o'clock, day number 2 of finals. Looks like a good heat shaping up here, at least through the first half of this race here in Heat 2 at 13-14 girls 200-meter freestyle, 400-meter freestyle. Between lanes 3, 5, and 6. Let's see if lane 3 still has the lead here at the halfway mark. It looks like that's going to be the case. That's Anna Wheel from Duneland. She comes through the halfway mark at 2:21.78. Second place in lane 6 will be Jasmine Wegman out of Munster, 2:22.01. And then in third place in lane 5, Angelica Reznikowski from Munster was through 200 meters at 2:22.62. So it looks like Anna Wheel still going to be the leader with 100 meters to go out in lane 3. Coming back to the starting block end. Once again, lane 1 at the top of your screen, lane 8 at the bottom of your screen. But this is shaping up to be a good battle over the final 100 meters, as closing right in on Wheel at the turn here in lane 6 is Jasmine Wegman from Munster Swim Club, a 13-year-old. And trying to overtake the 14-year-old Wheel here on this final 100 meters. Heat 2, 13-14 girls, 200-meter freestyle. 400-meter freestyle. So 50 meters to go as they make their final flip turn at the far end of the pool. And Wegman has taken over the lead in lane 6. Can she hang on now? Or can Wheel make a counter move here with 25 meters to go and come back and win this race in lane 3? So here we come to the finish fair. It's going to be a very close finish between Wheel in 3 and Wegman in 6 here in Heat 2. And Wheel may have come back on the final 50 meters and has a shot at the win. Who's going to outtouch whom? The win goes to Anna Wheel of Duneland in lane 3. 4:45.11 to a 4:45.32 for Wegman. And Reznikowski got third in a 4:51.40 in lane 5. Heat 3 now. 13-14 girls 400-meter freestyle. In lane 1, Addison Knobloch, 13-year-old from the SWAC swim team. Lane 2 is Tegan Madera, 13-year-old from Power Aquatics. Lane 3 will be Sophie Kloppenberg, 14-year-old from the Mount Vernon swim team. Lane 4, Ava Butterfield, 13-year-old from Newburgh Sea Creatures. Lane 5, Chrissy Bazin, 13-year-old from Mount Vernon swim team. Lane 6, Luca McGee, 13-year-old from Three Rivers Aquatic Club. Lane 7 is Hope Westfall, 13-year-old from the Indiana Swim Club. And lane 8 will be Natalie Marshall, a 14-year-old from the Fort Wayne swim team. This is Heat 3, 13-14 girls 400-meter freestyle, a timed finals event. Big lead here through the first 100 meters by the swimmer in lane 6. That's Luca McGee from Three Rivers Aquatic Club. And then pretty much the rest of the field right together behind her. McGee out in a 1:05.91. McGee holding on to a sizable advantage now as she heads back to the starting block end. And she'll be halfway through this race. She's in lane 6, the leader from Three Rivers Aquatic Club. Nobody making a big move yet on her. We'll see what McGee splits the 200 meters at as she makes the turn. Through 200 meters at 2:18.64. Second place is Bazin in lane 5. 2:20.93 is what she splits 200 meters at. So we'll see if Bazin can gradually reel in McGee now over these final 200 meters. They're right beside each other. Bazin in lane 5, McGee in lane 6. Heat 3, 13-14 girls 400 meter freestyle. Really good battle for third right behind your two leaders. McGee in 6th leads and Bazin in lane 5 is in 2nd. Then you've got lanes 2, 3, 4, and 7 in a very good battle for third place behind the first two swimmers. But McGee with 100 meters to go now, still more than a body length lead in lane 6 over Bazin. McGee comes through 300 meters at 3:32.11. Bazin makes her turn and she's at 3:35.34 through 200 meters. McGee went out strong in the first 100 meters and has not let up so far in lane 6. Final turn of the race for McGee down at the far end of the pool. And she's got 50 meters left. It does not appear anybody's going to catch McGee here. A wire-to-wire win here in this heat for McGee looks like it is what it will be. See what the winning time for McGee is in the heat here. McGee will finish in a time of 4:44.06, 4:46.75 for Chrissy Bazin, who gets second. Third place was Ava Butterfield in lane 4, 4:48.95. Heat 4 now, our final heat in the prelim session. In lane 1, it's Claire Parsons, 14-year-old from Terre Haute Torpedoes. Lane 2, Rachel Dildine, 13-year-old from Duneland Swim Club. Lane 3, Jordan Kozik, 14-year-old from the Concord Swim Club. Lane 4, Priscilla Zavala, 14-year-old from Munster Swim Club. Lane 5, Madeline Porter, 14-year-old from Newburgh Street Creatures. Lane 6, Ashley Friel, 13-year-old from the Indiana Swim Club. And lane 7, Emily Buning, 14-year-old from the Washington Township Swim Club. And in lane 8, we've got Kelsey Wazakowski, a 14-year-old from Boilermaker Aquatics. This is heat 4, 13-14 girls 400 meter freestyle. The fourth of 5 heats in prelims. That's actually the final heat to be swum in prelims this morning. The 5th and final heat will swim tonight with finals, but it is still a timed final event, meaning the overall win can come out of any of the 5 heats. The fastest seeded swimmers will swim tonight in finals in heat 5. We've got a really good start by the swimmer at the top of your screen here in lane 1, Claire Parsons out of the Terre Haute Torpedoes. And she's going to build up more than a body length lead through the first 100 meters. Claire is going to split the first 100 meters in a time of 1:05.51. And then most of the field turned right together then, right behind her. Nalini Cortez will be your top seeded swimmer tonight in this event, 13-14 girls 400 meter freestyle. She's a 14-year-old from Club Olympia. But here in heat 4, Claire Parsons looks like she's building on her lead in lane 1. The rest of the field is not going to know she's out in front by that large of a margin, perhaps being in lane 1. They're going to have to rely on their coaches to get them back in position in this heat. So Parsons threw 200 meters in lane 1 in a time of 2:16.60. And again, the rest of the field right together behind Parsons, but you know, almost 3 body lengths behind, I would say at this point. Second place through 200 meters in lane 7, Emily Buning split at 2:19.55. Claire Parsons has put down the hammer in lane 1 here in this 4th heat of time finals, 13-14 girls 400 meter freestyle. If there is a move that looks like it's starting to be made, perhaps breaking away from the rest of the field, is the swimmer in lane 7. That is Buning from Washington Township. As we come up on the 300-meter mark now, with 100 meters to go, Buning's starting to build into her race a little bit and might be closing the gap a little bit on Parsons. Parsons still the leader in lane 1, and she comes through 300 meters at 3:29.95. But just 2/100ths of a second back as Buning in lane 7 at a 3:29.97. So Buning began to really build into her race on that second 100 meters. We'll see if the coaches on the far side of the pool can let Parsons know that Buning is closing on her in lane 7. So this sets up perhaps to be a good final length of the pool here. 50 meters to go. You got Parsons in lane 1, still leading. Buning in lane 2 or lane 7 is in second. Parsons had a huge lead through 200 meters, but Buning has made a race out of it now with 25 meters to go in lane 7. This is going to be a really close finish as we come underneath the flags. Parsons in 1, Buning in 7. Buning may have her, and she does. Emily Buning closes strong over the back half of the swim and wins the heat from Washington Township Swim Club in a time of 4:39.29. Second place goes to Parsons in lane 1 from the Terre Haute Torpedoes, 4:39.80. And third place in the heat went to Ashley Friel in lane 6, 4:42.84. Well, that was a good competitive heat. Heat 5 will swim tonight in finals. We move to event 44 now. 13-14 boys 400-meter freestyle, a time finals event. We've got 3 heats of this. The first 2 heats will be swum this morning in prelims. Final heat swum tonight with finals. In heat 1, we'll use lanes 2 through 6. In lane 2, it'll be Joey Hams, a 14-year-old from Three River Aquatic Club. Lane 3 is Adam McCurdy, 14-year-old from Three Rivers Aquatic Club. Lane 4, Luke Smith, 14-year-old from Plainfield Community Aquatics. Lane 5 is Franco Chirinos, 13-year-old from Franklin Regional Swim Team. And lane 6, Nicholas Summers, a 14-year-old from Avon Community Swim Team. Meet record in this event, 4:05.70, set in 2016. So we've got the swimmers in lanes 3 and 4 right together here through the first 100 meters. McCurdy in 3 and Smith in 4. McCurdy officially the leader at 100 meters in a time of 1:03.53. 400 meters, again, 8 lengths of the pool. They do not use lap counters in the 400 meters. So we've got two swimmers who have broken away from the rest of the field here in this first heat. Adam McCurdy in 3 and Luke Smith in lane 4. We're still right together here as the two get ready to complete their first 200 meters of this 400-meter race here at the starting block end. And it looks like lane 4, I think, will have the lead. He does. Luke Smith out in a 2:14.37, a 2:14.42 for McCurdy in lane 3. So it looks like this first heat will be decided between these two swimmers. The other three swimmers well behind at this point. Again, this is a time final event, 13-14 boys 400-meter freestyle, 3 heats. And a time final means that the overall winner can come out of any of the 3 heats. The top fastest seeded swimmers, though, will swim tonight in Heat 3 with finals. And Caden Lancaster will be your top seed from Carmel Swim Club. He's seeded with a 4:12.39. But here in Heat 1, it looks like Luke Smith in lane 4 will have the lead with 100 meters left. See what Luke Smith turns in here. 3:24.90 for Smith, 3:25.92 for McCurdy, who's in second in lane 3. Luke Smith appears to be on his way to a win here in this first heat, perhaps increasing his lead a little bit now over McCurdy. 25 meters left for Luke. And he stops the clock at 4:32.95. Second place, Adam McCurdy, 4:39.38. Third place in the heat in lane 6 to Summers. Looks like 4:46.05. Heat 2 now. Final heat to be swum in prelims. In lane 1, we'll have Ford Crackle, 14-year-old from the Lake Central Barracudas. Lane 2 is Ryan Nip, 14-year-old from Boilermaker Aquatics. Lane 3, Keaton Chop, 14-year-old from Fishers Area Swimming Tigers. Lane 4, Colin Kamek, 13-year-old from Westfield Aquatics. Lane 5 is Adrian Buxkowski, 14-year-old from Boilermaker Aquatics. Lane 6, Aaron Uni, 14-year-old from Avon Community. Lane 7, Luke Whitlock, 13-year-old from Noblesville Swim Club. And in lane 8, it's Jude Bragdon, 14-year-old from Fishers Area Swimming Tigers. This is the final heat. Swum this morning. 13-14 boys 400-meter freestyle time final. Heat 2 underway. The lead here through 100 meters in lane 4 is Kamek, 103.16. Second place, Chop, 104.77. Next event will be event 45, 11-12 girls 100-meter backstroke. And we'll turn things back over to Adrian Jarding for that. As Kamek, halfway through his swim now here in lane 4, splits it at 2:12.53. Second place in lane 3 is Keaton Chop, 2:16.01. And third place in lane 6 is Uni, 2:17.48. So a little less than halfway to go here now in heat 2, 13-14 boys 400-meter freestyle. Kamek in lane 4 out of Westfield Aquatics, a dominating swim so far in this heat as he's led it wire to wire. So far, we'll see what happens on in the final 100 meters as Kamek makes the turn here at the starting block end. Comes through 300 meters at 3:23.25. Second place in lane 3 will be Keaton Chop, 3:27.81. And in third place in lane 6, Aaron Uni, 3:30.44. So does not appear that Colin Kamek is going to be caught, but we'll see. I think a couple of swimmers have moved in a little bit on Kamek here on this final 100 meters, but I think they're going to run out of pool. Lane 3, you've got Chop, and then lane 7, a pretty good close here as well from Luke Whitlock as he's moved into third. Whitlock out of Noblesville Swim Club, but Colin Kamek from Westfield Aquatics will take the win in the heat. Winning time, 4:34.45 for Colin. Second place, Keaton Chop, 4:38.11, and third place will be Luke Whitlock, 4:39.90.
For event number 45 in the girls 11-12 100-meter backstroke. In heat number 1, we have Kira Thomas in lane 3, Emma Lindemann from Zionsville in lane 4, Sabrina Ledwith from Carmel in lane 5, and Maddie Buckley from Doolin in lane 6. And Kira Thomas is from Carmel. Kira Thomas in lane 3 for Carmel. Currently leading the charge with about 25 meters to go. Came in with a converted yards time of 105.82. And will walk away with the first heat with a time of 1:15.51. For heat number 2, we have Kellen Cook in lane 1 for Three Rivers Aquatic Club. Brayley Brown in lane 2 for LaPorte Community Turbo Swim. Nicole Font in lane 3 for Jasper. Lane 4, Jennifer Baraha from Munster. In lane 5, Elena Bryson from Michiana Stars. Lane 6, Addison Carlisle from Fishers. Lane 7, Mia Kirkham from Dunlin. And in lane number 8, Libby Marion from Michiana. Jennifer Baraha from Munster leading the charge. 35.44 was her first 50 split. Baraha making a very good surge here late, holding that lead the entire way, and finishes with a time of 1:13.17 to take heat number 2. In heat number 3, we have Julie Goss from Southeastern. Lane 2, Allison Norman from Dunlin. Molly Billings in lane 3, also from Dunlin. Regan Graves from Greenwood in lane 4. Amanda Abdullah in lane 5 for Lake Central. Lane 6, Kayla Barr from Carmel. Lane 7, Maris Emmert from Sugar Creek. And in lane number 8, Sawyer DeWitt from Boilermaker. Regan Graves, who had a great night last night, leading the charge at the halfway point. 34.07 was her first 50 split. Really starting to pick up that tempo here. Have a good battle going there for second, but Regan Graves in lane number 4, well and ahead. Gonna take heat number 3. Finishes with a time of 1:10.60. Came in with a C time of 1:12.41, so good 2-second drop for her. And in the final heat of the prelim session, Jaylee Hamilton in lane 1 for Mount Vernon. Lane 2, Annika Carper from the Otter Swim Team. Lane 3, Avery Witt from Southeastern. Lane 4, Chloe Vidito from Newcastle. Lane 5, Bella Tufts from Crown Point Swim Club. Lane 6, Lindsay Bowen from Carmel. Lane 7, Addie Sakali from South Bend. And lane number 8, Julia Santeri from Noblesville. Close race here between Avery Witt and Chloe Vidito. Lanes 3 and 4. Almost evenly split on that first 50. DeWitt in the blue cap in lane 3. Now it's starting to mount a lead. Almost a full body length ahead of Vidito. Really turning that kick into overdrive here in the final 15 meters of the race. And Avery Witt finishes with a time of 1:12.08 to take the final heat of the prelim session. Now we transition into event number 46, the boys 11-12 100-meter backstroke. 4 heats total. In lane number 1, we have Amadio Kincaid from Dunlin. Lane 2, Anderson Kopp from Carmel. Lane 3, Carter Trappier from Crown Point. Lane 4, Chase Wilson from Zionsville. Lane 5, Kaylin Barrier from Dunlin. Lane 6, AJ Adams from Fishers. Lane 7, Jerry Hunley from Jennings County Swim Club. And in lane number 8, William Lathrop from Carmel. Barrier from Dunlin leading the charge. 36.40 is his first 50. Coming on strong at the bottom of your screen, Jerry Hunley in lane 7, trying to make a charge. Also at the top of your screen, lanes 1 and 2 are evening that gap. It's all going to come down to the finish. Who gets their hand on the wall first? Amadio Kincaid from Dunlin in lane 1 finishes first with a time of 1:16.61. Good 4-second drop for Kincaid. In heat number 2, we have Luke Pugh from Carmel in lane 1, Tommy Jonah Hanneman from Fishers, Toby Dollins in lane 3 from Zionsville, Eduardo Sanchez in lane 4 from Fishers, lane 5, Noah Geppert from Riviera, lane 6, Jackson Paris from Fort Wayne, lane 7, Colin Walrund from SWAC, and in lane number 8, Brady Hinshaw from Zionsville. Eduardo Sanchez from Fast, 35.70 at the 50, fastest split in the pool. Race tightening up here at the final 25 meters. Noah Geppert trying to mount a late charge, but looks like Sanchez kick really driving him here. And Eduardo Sanchez with the wire-to-wire victory finishes with a time of 1:13.38. Take heat number 2. In heat number 3, we have Josiah Bosom from Brownsburg in lane 1, Jason Strodub from SWAC in lane 2, Jack Vervleed from Lake Central in lane 3, Jay Stewart in lane 4 for Franklin. Lane 5, Henry Linus from Center Grove. In lane 6, David Kovacs from Indiana Swim Club. Lane 7, Lee Balcom from Fishers. And in lane number 8, Andrew Hayes from LaPorte Community Turbos. Jay Stewart had the fastest split, 34.15. Stewart with a very strong finish here. We'll take heat number 3 with a time of 1:11.11. Now for heat number 4, the final heat of the prelim session. In lane number 1, we have Willie Dean for Carmel. Lane 2, Caden Spildy for Munster. Lane 3, Landon Holmes from Valparaiso. Lane 4, Carter Lancaster from Carmel. Lane 5, Gabe Kazmierzak from Elkhart. Lane 6, Leo Nee from Irish Aquatics. Lane 7, Caleb Kuntz from Zionsville. And also in lane number 8 from Zionsville is Ike Berry. And for those of you who tuned in yesterday, you may have seen Carter Lancaster, who had the 3rd fastest time ever for an 11-12-year-old in the 200-meter backstroke. Currently leading the charge in the 100. Lancaster not quite going to get there for going under a minute, but he does set a Indiana state record, 102.37 for Lancaster. The record was 104.72, the meet record. I believe that was also an Indiana Association record. Carter Lancaster continuing to set records here this weekend. Now we will transition into event number 47, the girls 13-14 100-meter backstroke. In heat number 1, we have Claire Peters in lane 2 for Carmel, Olivia Elston in lane 3 from Irish, lane 4, Rachel Dawson from Carmel, lane 5, Maddie Lathrop from Carmel, lane 6, Alexa Boylett from Westfield, and in lane number 7, Americus Inkling from Northridge. Americus Ingling from NASA, 34.49 on the first 50. Now emerging in lane 4 is Rachel Dawson from Carmel. With a very strong second 50. Takes heat number 1 with a time of 1:11.30. In heat number 2, we have Amelia Edens in lane 1 from Franklin. Lane 2, Grace Clarkston from Center Grove. Lane 3, Paige Sherman from Carmel. Lane 4, Chloe Plank from Newburgh. Lane 5, Jordan Alders from Duneland. Lane 6, Ari Stieber from Carmel. Lane 7, Lainey Brooks from Fort Wayne. And in lane number 8, Aaron McLaughlin from SWAC. Jordan Alders in lane 5 from Duneland had the fastest split there, 33.74. The meet record is 103.42. Two Carmel swimmers of Sherman and Stieber trying to mount a late charge. But Allers holds them off, finishing first with a time of 1:10.30 to take heat number 2. In heat number 3, we have Ellie Overbeck in lane 1 from Carmel. Lane 2, Anna Wheel from Duneland. Lane 3, Pippo Wasanaso-Smithy, I'm sorry if I mispronounced that, from Indiana Swim Club. Lane 4, Ripley Merritt from SWAC. Lane 5, Naomi Weaver from Greenwood. Lane 6, Parker Kruzawa from Carmel. Lane 7, Sarah Henson from Indian Creek Aquatic Club. And in lane number 8, Molly Simmons from Zionsville. Ripley Merritt and Anna Wheel in lanes 4 and 2, currently duking it out. Merritt really increased the tempo on her legs though, and that'll be good enough to secure heat number 3 with a time of 1:06.53. In heat number 4, we have Addie Burrow from Fort Wayne. Lane 5, Kenley Garman, also from Fort Wayne. Lane 6, Ella Lance from Concord. Lane 4, Grace DeLuna from Center Grove. Lane 5, Kira Cass from Riviera. Lane 6, Grace Newton from Southeastern. Lane 7, Lauren Salazar from Boilermaker. And in lane number 8, Cindy Warnicki from Carmel. DeLuna from Center Grove had the fastest split there, 32.92. Again, these last 3 heats are circle seated, so she came in seated second overall. 105.79 was DeLuna's time coming in. It's going to add a little bit of time this morning, finishing with a time of 106.95 to take heat number 4. And in the final heat of the morning, we have Murphy Moore from Terre Haute in lane 1, Kat Lundy from Cardinal in lane 2, Alyssa Street in lane 3 for Carmel, Baird Berglund also from Carmel in lane 4, JoJo Ramey from Fishers in lane 5, Sid Nethercutt from Northridge in lane 6, lane 7, Sydney Korn from SWAC, and in lane number 8, Katie Baracker from Zionsville. Baird Berglund has the advantage, 30.93, followed closely by JoJo. JoJo Ramey battling Baird Berglund in the middle of the pool for what will most likely be the top seed lane tonight. Berglund out touches Ramey 104.08, and Ramey finishes with a time of 104.17. It will be the two top-seeded swimmers going into tonight. So now we transition into event number 47, the boys 13-14 100-meter backstroke. Out in lane number 3, we have Augustin Dow from Warren Aquatics Club. Lane 4, Evan Hernandez from Center Grove. And in lane number 5, Jave Shepard from Flashes Aquatics. Hernandez from Center Grove currently leading the way. 32.53 was his first 50. All three of them came in with converted yards times. And Evan Hernandez from Center Grove takes heat number 1 with a time of 108.82. The first of 5 heats. In heat number 2, we have Alex Kostick from Crown Point. Jack Stedham in lane 3 for Washington Township. Lane 4, Wyatt Wade from Power Aquatics. Lane 5, Brandon Malicki from Carmel. Lane 6, Quinn Sweeney, also from Carmel. And in lane number 7, Patton Shar from Riviera. Alex Kostick at the top of your screen from Crown Point. 32.06 was his first 50, leading the field. Riding kind of high in the water is Kostick. Very smooth tempo. Trying to close that gap is Jack Stedham in lane 3, but he's not going to quite get there as Kostick takes heat number 2 with a time of 106.84. In heat number 3, we have Whit Horton in lane 1 from Sugar Creek Swim Club. Lane 2, Saketh Reddy from Newburgh. Lane 3, Gavin Najaman from Duneland. Lane 4, Nicholas Plum from Carmel. Lane 5, Sam Smith from Indian Creek Aquatic Club. Lane 6, Easton Heiser from Zionsville. Lane 7, Kurt Guerin from Riverside. And in lane number 8, Justin Banks from Hoosier Hills Otters. Nicholas Plum from Carmel, 30.36 was his first 50. Looking very comfortable in the middle of the pool is Plum. Came in with a C time of 103.87 and has a new best time of 102.51, which is good enough to take heat number 3. In heat number 4, we have Shepard Huff from Noblesville in lane 1, Christian Kemelkang from Elkhart in lane 2, JJ Schmidt from Brownsburg in lane 3, KJ Sweeney from Carmel in lane 4, Emil Haig from Indiana Swim Club in lane 5, Seth Cannon from Newburgh in lane 6, Charlie Rogers from Southeastern in lane 7, and Walker Mattis from Zionsville in lane number 8. JJ Schmidt in lane 3 had the fastest split there, 30.73. Trying to close now is Sweeney in lane 4, who's now surging along with these last 25 meters, really picking up that tempo. And almost with a full body length lead is Sweeney, who takes heat number 4 with a time of 104.08. Rounding out the event 48, boys 13, 14, 100 meter backstroke. In heat 5, we had Matthew Clinch from Boilermaker. Lane 2, Carson Sotek from Carmel. Lane 3, Daniel Utterbeck from Franklin. Lane 4, William Raches from Riviera. Lane 5, Connor Paris from Riverside Aquatics Club. Lane 6, Nicholas Summers from Avon. Lane 7, Colin Fleming from Pro. And in lane number 8, Luke Smith from Plainfield Community Aquatics. Raches from Riviera had the fastest split there, 30.40. The meet record is 58.78. Sea time is about 5 seconds off of that, 103.16. And William Raches from Riviera takes heat number 5 with a time of 102.82. Now for the girls 11-12 100 meter butterfly, I'm going to turn it back over to Eric.
In 1 for Washington Township, Amelia Smith. 3 for Riverside Aquatic, Prislava Nelicheva. 4 for Elkhart United, Elena Riggins. 5-4 Fast Tigers, Amia Wilson. 6-4 Carmel Swim Club, Savannah Irizarry. And in lane 7 for SWAC, Ruby Stump. Here now the results of preliminary swims. 13-14 girls 100 backstroke. Second alternate Simmons, first alternate Burrow. In the consolation final, Garmin, Dawson, Newton, Sherman, Overbeck, Steiber, Alders, and Nethercutt. And in the championship final, Street, Wasson, Samset, Cask, Wheel, DeLuna, Merritt, Ramey, and Barrett Berglund is your top seed from Carmel in a time of 104.08. Time now is 9:39, and the 30-minute scratch rule is in effect for event number 47. Elena Riggins, lane 4 from Elkhart United, 112.79. Heat 2. In 2 for Fishers Area Swimming Tigers, Mia Parker. 3 for Greenwood Gators, Olivia Ford. Lane 4 for Greenwood, Reagan Graves. 5 for Howard County Aquatics, Aubrey Simmons. 6 for Irish Aquatics, Charlie Drew. 7 for Westfield Aquatics, Trinity Parkin. Reagan Graves, Greenwood Gators, 109.57. Final heat coming to the block. This is heat 3. In 2 for Newland Swim Club, Mia Kirkham. 3 for Lake Central Barracudas, Izzy Mercati. 4 for Carmel Swim Club, Lexi Ward. 5 for Fast Tigers, Emma Schumacher. 6 for Fast Tigers, Addison Carlisle. And 7 for Newland Swim Club, Mallory Koloski. Taylor Boffman in 1999 with both the Mead and Indiana Association records at a time 104.35. Lexi Ward at Carmel, 108.34.
Now starting event 50, the boys 11-12 100-meter butterfly. In lane 1, we have Hudson Lee from Fishers. Lane 2, Nate Marshall from Fort Wayne. Lane 3, Alexander Rees from Franklin. Lane 4, Anthony Korchnak from Fish. Lane 5, Henry Kaminiarek from Valparaiso. Lane 6, Ethan Hart from Brownsburg. Lane 7, Lee Balcom from Fishers. And lane number 8, Lucas Royster from Duneland. Little outside speed, Hudson Lee from Fast leading the charge, 34.85. And lane number 1 at the top of your screen. Hudson doing everything he can to just finish this race. And he gets his hand on the wall first with a time of 1:14.59. Came in with a C time of 1:21.17, so nice 7-second drop there for Lee. In heat number 2, we have Jack Keyser from Carmel in lane 1. Riley Lettich in lane 2 for Riviera. Lane 3, Will DeLeo for Concord. Lane 4, Hayden Lynham from SWAC. Lane 5, Parker Huff from Brownsburg. Lane 6, Caden DeSmet from Valparaiso. Lane 7, Tommy Jonah Henneman from Fishers. And in lane number 8, Ike Berry from Zionsville. Caden DeSmet from Valparaiso. Fastest split there, 35.47. And the young man in the bright green cap leading the charge here with 25 meters to go. He's getting a little bit of pressure from Riley Ledich in lane 2 from Riviera. But surging ever so good to the finish is DeSmet, who gets his hand on the wall first with a time of 1:16.59. Now entering heat 3 of 5. In lane 1, we have Luke Pugh from Carmel. Lane 2, Caleb Kuntz from Zionsville. Lane 3, Aria Gokale from Greenwood. Lane 4, Eduardo Sanchez from Fishers. Lane 5, Landon Holmes from Valparaiso. Lane 6, David Kovacs from Indiana Swim Club. Lane 7, Victor Herbert from Fishers. And in lane number 8, Zach Welch from Carmel. Landon Holmes from Valparaiso, just like his teammate in the last heat, Caden DeSmet, currently leading the charge. Looking very strong here in the first 50, 32.82 on the first split. Very good tempo going there for Holmes. And Landon Holmes makes it back-to-back sweeps for heats. 1:10.41 was his time, which is good enough to take heat number 3. A little bit of a fist pump there. Very excited about that swim. In heat 4, we have Carter Hadley from Carmel. Lane 2, Gavin Barnes from Brownsburg. Lane 3, Zach Vervlied from Lake Central. Lane 4, Jay Stewart from Franklin. Lane 5, Gabe Kazmierczak from Elkhart. Lane 6, Henry Linus from Center Grove. Lane 7, Hayden Weber from Lake Central. And in lane number 8, Logan Pozwinski from SWAC. Jay Stewart in lane 4 had a little bit of a rough turn, but nevertheless, he still holds the advantage. 31.96 was his first 50. Came in with a seat time of 107.01. Currently on pace to break that. Zach Vervlied in the white cap in lane 3, holding tough, but not going to be able to chase down Stewart. And Jay Stewart takes heat number 4 with a time of 108.31. So we head into the final heat of this prelim session. In heat number 5, we have Luke Parsons from Terre Haute. Lane 2, Jackson Paris from Fort Wayne. Lane 3, Vincent Howe from Center Grove. Lane 4, Lucas Pagel from Indiana Swim Club. Lane 5, Jahoon Jung from Southeastern. Lane 6, Gavin Coggin from Brownsburg. Lane 7, Amadio Kincaid from Duneland. Lane 8, Colin Walrun from SWAC. Pagel has the advantage at the halfway point, 30.21. Looking very strong, as now he has about a 2.5 body length lead over Howe and Jung. Riding all the way to the finish, time of 104.98. He will be your top seed tonight for finals. 2 seconds off the state meet record. 102.88 is the time to beat. Event 51 is now underway. The girls 13-14 100-meter butterfly. In lane number 2, we have Claire McAfee from Zionsville. Lane 3, Alexa Belate from Westfield. Lane 4, Americus Ingling from Northridge. Lane 5, Aaron McLaughlin from SWAC. And in lane number 6, Amelia Edens from Franklin. Americus England from NASA had the fastest first split, 32.50, following closely by Edens in lane 6, both wearing blue caps. Setting up nicely for a photo finish here. Edens pulling away in the final 10 meters of the race. Gets her hands on the wall first to finish with a time of 111.28. Came in with a converted yards time. In heat number 2, we have Emma Pletcher from Lawrence Swim Team. Lane 3, Mary Ellen Stratman from Greenfield Community Aquatic Team. Lane 4, Taylor Stasny from Lake Central. Lane 5, Chloe Plank from Newburgh. Lane 6, Lexi Jankowski from Fort Wayne. Lane 6, Ellie Overbeck from Carmel. Lane 7, Lara Phipps from Center Grove. And in lane number 8, Jayla Morris from Fort Wayne. Taylor Stasny in lane 3 from Lake Central, out in 32.13. Somebody who had a great turn there is Lexi Jankowski in lane 5. But Stasny charging back, taking the lead. Getting a little bit of a competition up there also from Emma Pletcher in lane 1. But Taylor Stasny takes heat number 2 with a time of 109.53. 2-second drop for her. In heat number 3, we have Annabelle Quee from Carmel. Lane 2, Avery Woods from Pro. Lane 3, Natalie Marshall from Fort Wayne. Lane 4, Grace Newton from Southeastern. Lane 5, Ava Butterfield from Newburgh. Lane 6, Paige Crawford from Southeastern. Lane 7, Sydney Warnicki from Carmel. And in lane number 8, Sam Hunter from Goshen. Sam Hunter in lane number 8 at the bottom of your screen had the fastest split there, 31.64. Riding very high in the water. It doesn't look like anybody has the tempo to catch her down. Out in lane number 4, Grace Newton trying to. Who gets their hand on the wall first? Oh my goodness, Grace Newton just got in there, 109.18, 2/10 of a second faster than Sam Hunter. That was an incredible job by Newton there on the final 15 meters of that race. Didn't look like she was going to be able to chase her down, but she did. So we now head into heat number 4. Audrey Lance in lane 1 for Concord. Lane 2, Jordan Alders from Dunlin. Lane 3, Naomi Weaver from Greenwood. Lane 4, Lily Christensen from Irish Aquatics. Lane 5, Elaine Zerline from Newburgh. Lane 6, Audrey Crawford from Southeastern. Lane 7, Erin Kumans from Carmel. And in lane number 8, Sophia Stutzman from Concord. Lily Christensen, who had a very good day yesterday from Irish, in lane number 4, leading the way, 30.00. Looking very comfortable in the water right now. And with a very quick tempo, Lily Christensen takes heat number 4 with a time of 1:04.67. 1.5 second drop for her. In heat number 5, we have Sophia Kloppenberg from Mount Vernon. Lane 2, Allison Lacey from Franklin. Lane 3, Jordan Kosak from Concord. Lane 4, Barrett Berglund from Carmel. Lane 5, Parker Kurzawa from Carmel. Lane 6, Priscilla Zavala from Munster. Lane 7, Ashley Friel from Indiana. And in lane number 8, Chloe Haug from Fort Wayne. Ashley Friel leading the field at the halfway point. 30.51 was her first 50 split, but followed closely by Zavala in lane 6, 31.57. Emerging late is Parker Kurzawa from Carmel in lane number 5, who takes heat number 5 with a time of 1:07.15. In heat number 6, the final heat of the prelim session, we have Adriana Germain from SWAC. Lane number 2, Madeline Porter from Newburgh. Lane 3, Kaya Podlin from Irish Aquatics. Lane 4, Ripley Merritt from SWAC. Lane 5, Nalani Cortez from Club Olympia. Lane 6, Kelsey Wasikowski from Boilermaker. Lane 7, Sid Nethercutt from Northridge. And in lane number 8, Abby Harkima from Lake Central. Ripley Merritt from SWAC out in a 31.17. Nalani Cortez, though, hanging tough there in lane number 5. Nalani Cortez just got out-touched by Ripley Merritt there. 106.62 for Merritt, 106.81 for Cortez. Those two showing good sportsmanship after the race. So now we transition into event 52, the boys 13-14 100-meter butterfly, and I'm going to hand it over to Eric.
Lane assignments for heat 1. Alex Kostick, 14-year-old from Crown Point in lane 1. In lane 2, Greg Enoch from Noblesville Swim Club. Lane 3, Malcolm Slater from Zionsville Swim Club. Lane 4 is Nate Reninga, 14-year-old from Michiana Stars. Lane 5, Brandon Malicki from the Carmel Swim Club. Lane 6, Luke Whitlock from Noblesville Swim Club. Lane 7, Adam McCurdy from Three Rivers Aquatic Club. And in lane 8, we have Connor Paris from Riverside Aquatics Club. This is Heat 1, 13-14 boys, 100-meter butterfly preliminary heats. We have 4 heats. And here coming to the finish, it looks like it's going to be Adam McCurdy in lane 7, the 14-year-old from Three Rivers Aquatic Club, with a winning time of 1:03.50. Second place in lane 5, Brandon Malicki with a 1:05.24. Heat 2 now, 13-14 boys, 100-meter butterfly. In lane 1, Evan Hernandez, 14-year-old from Center Grove Aquatic Club. Lane 2, Adrian Buxkowski, 14-year-old from Boilermaker Aquatics. Lane 3, Zane Hendrickson, a 14-year-old from Boonville Dolphins. Lane 4, Nicholas Plum, 14-year-old from Carmel Swim Club. Lane 5, Daniel Utterbach, 14-year-old from Franklin Regional Swim Team. Lane 5, Owen Lindsay, 13-year-old from the SWAC Swim Team. Lane 7, Bryce Scott, 14-year-old from Duneland Swim Club. And lane 8, Keaton Chop, 14-year-old from Fishers Area Swimming Tigers. Meet record in this event is 57:40. It's also the association record set in 2007. I'm Eric Eaton back with you here. We're on Heat 2, 13-14 boys, 200-meter butterfly. We come to the finish of the heat. The winner in lane 4 will be Nicholas Plum from Carmel Swim Club, 1:01.53. Second place, Owen Lindsay in lane 6, 1:02.61. Heat 3 now. In lane 1, Brandon Tren, 13-year-old from Carmel Swim Club. Lane 2 is Noah Welter, 13-year-old from the SWAC Swim Team. Lane 3, Jude Bragdon, 14-year-old from Fishers Area Swimming Tigers. Lane 4, we have Caden Lancaster, 14-year-old from the Carmel Swim Club. Lane 5, Isaac Martin, 14-year-old from the Munster Swim Club. Lane 6, Sam Smith, 14-year-old from Indian Creek Aquatic Club. Lane 7 is Taichi Katoka, 13-year-old from Fishers Area Swimming Tigers. And then lane 8, Whit Horton, 13-year-old from the Sugar Creek Swim Club. Heat 3, 13-14 boys, 100-meter butterfly. One more preliminary heat after this in this event. Out in front here, Caden Lancaster from the Carmel Swim Club. And being chased down by Isaac Martin in lane 5, and I think Martin's going to come up short here in this heat. The win in the heat will go to Caden Lancaster in a time of 1:00.14. Second place, Isaac Martin in lane 5, 1:01.57. On to heat 4 now, 13-14 boys, 100-meter butterfly. In lane 1, Scotty Pajic, 14-year-old from Duneland Swim Club. Lane 2, Alex Russo, 14-year-old from Carmel Swim Club. Lane 3, Emil Haig, 13-year-old from Indiana Swim Club. Lane 4, A.J. Robertson, 14-year-old from the Carmel Swim Club. Lane 5, we have Owen Dankert, 14-year-old from Fort Wayne Swim Team. Lane 6, Carter Brames, 13-year-old from Riviera Swim Team. Lane 7, Dan Bennett, the 14-year-old from Fishers Area Swimming Tigers. And in lane 8, Wyatt Sealer, a 14-year-old from Zionsville Swim Club. Final heat, 13-14 boys, 100-meter butterfly. Early lead being established here by Robertson in lane 4 as he gets ready to make the turn down to the far end of the pool. He's out in 27.60 is Robertson. So it looks like A.J. Robertson's going to win the 4th heat here. Win 59.98. Second place to Owen Dankert, 101.28 in that heat. We're going to move down to the far end of the pool for the start of the 50-meter freestyle races. So we're getting ready now for event 53, preliminary heats for the girls, 11-12 girls 50-meter freestyle. And so they're testing out the starting horn down there. At the far end of the pool is the 50-meter freestyle races will start down there. And here we go. Lane 1, Mallory Kolaski from Dunedin. Lane 2, Vanessa Domalewski from Irish Aquatics. Lane 4, Catherine Greenlee from Fort Wayne Swim Team. Lane 5, Chloe Chen, Boilermaker Aquatics. Lane 6, Nicole Fant, Jasper Aquatic Wildcats. Lane 7, Allison Norman from Dunedin. 11-12 girls, first heat of the 50-meter freestyle. First of 4 heats. Wind's going to go to lane 4. That's Greenlee in a time of, or actually lane 5, excuse me, Chen in a time of 29.70. Second place to Fant, 30.28. Heat 2, lane 1, Marie Hessler, 11-year-old from Sugar Creek Swim Club. Lane 2, Chloe Viteau, 12-year-old from Newcastle Swim Club. Lane 3 is Kiara Johnson, 12-year-old Greenwood Gators. Lane 4, Bill Ratzliff, 12-year-old from Franklin Regional. Lane 5 is Annabelle Swinney, 12-year-old from Zionsville Swim Club. Lane 6, Jaylee Hamilton, 12-year-old from Mount Vernon Swim Team. Lane 7, Rachel Garcia, 12-year-old from Fishers Area Swimming Tigers. And lane 8, Anna DeLuna, 12-year-old from Center Grove Aquatic Club. Heat 2, 11-12 girls 50-meter freestyle. The win this time will go to lane 4. That's Ratzliff in a time of 28.93. Second place right next to her in lane 5, Swinney, in a time of 29.80. Heat 2 is complete. Heat 3 now. In lane 1, Maris Emmert, 11-year-old from Sugar Creek Swim Club. Lane 2 is Molly Sweeney, 11-year-old from Carmel Swim Club. Lane 3 is Izzy Marcotte, 12-year-old from Lake Central Barracudas. Lane 4, Elena Riggins, 11-year-old from Elkhart United. Lane 5, Olivia Ford, 12-year-old Greenwood Gators. Lane 6, Trinity Parkin, a 12-year-old from Westfield Aquatics. Lane 7, Amelia Smith, 12-year-old from Washington Township Swim Club. And in lane 8, Avery Christian, a 12-year-old from Zionsville Swim Club. Good competitive heat here. Let's see who gets the final burst into the touchpad for the win. It's going to go, we'll get a tie. Lanes 4 and 5 tie. Riggins in 4 and Ford in 5. Both with a time of 29.65. You see that sometimes in the 50 free. And finishing in third in lane 6 was Parkin with the time of 29.75. Heat 4 now. Meet record in this event is 26:85, set just last year. In Heat 4, Lane 1, Sydney Watkins, 12-year-old from Sea Dragon Swimming. Lane 2, Exley Tricker, 12-year-old from Noblesville Swim Club. Lane 3, Elena Bryson, 12-year-old from Michiana Stars. Lane 4, Brayley Brown, 12-year-old from LaPorte Community Turbos. Lane 5 is Katie Brenneman, 11-year-old from the Concord Swim Club. Lane 6 is Mila Hawkins, 12-year-old from Howard County Aquatics. Lane 7, Rachel Stutz, 12-year-old from Greenfield Community Aquatic. And in Lane 8, we have Amanda Abdullah, 12-year-old from Lake Central Barracudas. Final heat, 11-12 girls 50-meter freestyle. Will we have another tie? Going to be a close finish again. We do not. Katie Brenneman takes the win in Lane 5 from Concord, 29:53. Or 29:33, and finishing second in Lane 4 was Brayley Brown with a time of 29:35. So by 2/100ths of a second, Brenneman got the win in that heat. Event 54, 11-12 boys 50-meter freestyle. We have 4 preliminary heats. In Heat 1, Lane 1, Carson Collier, 12-year-old from the Fort Wayne swim team. Lane 2, Victor Herbert, 12-year-old from Fishers Area Swimming Tigers. Lane 3, Andrew Byer, 12-year-old from Riviera Swim Team. Lane 4, Ethan Hart, 12-year-old from the Brownsburg Swim Team. Lane 5, Grant Hibisky, 11-year-old from the SWAC Swim Team. Lane 6 is Zach Welch, an 11-year-old from the Carmel Swim Club. And in Lane 7, Henry Linus, an 11-year-old from Center Grove Aquatic Club. Meet record in this event, and also the association record set last year, is 26:18. And this win in the opening heat will go to Lane 7, Henry Linus, 30.92. Second place to Lane 2, Victor Herbert, swims a 31.04. Heat 2 now. In Lane 1, we have Nate Marshall, 12-year-old from Fort Wayne Swim Team. Lane 2, Caden Spildy, 12-year-old from the Munster Swim Club. Lane 3 is Leo Nee, 11-year-old from Irish Aquatics. Lane 4 is Gavin Coggin, 12-year-old from Brownsburg Swim Club. Lane 5 is Cameron Cox, 12-year-old from the Center Grove Aquatic Club. Lane 6, Lucas Royster, 11-year-old from the Duneland Swim Club. Lane 7 is Sammy Wolf, 12-year-old from the Washington Township Swim Club. And in Lane 8, Will Ladine, an 11-year-old from the Carmel Swim Club. Lane 4 with the lead right now. That's Gavin Coggin. He's going to take the win. Gavin Coggin, 29:21. Second place in Lane 5 to Cameron Cox, and a 29:76. Heat 3. In Lane 1, Kevin Baker, 12-year-old from the Southeastern Swim Club of Fishers. Lane 2, Henry Coe, 12-year-old from Cardinal Community. Lane 3 is Riley Letich, 12-year-old from Riviera Swim Team. Lane 4, Louis Zhang, 11-year-old from Cardinal Community. Lane 5 is Arya Gokel, 12-year-old from Greenwood Gators. Lane 6 is Hudson Lee, 12-year-old from Fishers Area Swimming Tigers. Lane 7, Cade Kennedy, 12-year-old from the Valparaiso Swim Club. And in Lane 8, Maximus Cuban, 12-year-old from the Highland Hurricane Swim Club. Good battle, lanes 3 and 4 here to the finish. You got Letich in 3 and Zhang in 4. And winning this heat will be Louis Zhang in lane 4 with a time of 28:97. Second place in lane 3 was Letich, 29:30. Fourth and final heat now, boys 11-12-year-olds in the 50-meter freestyle. In lane 1, Shannon Wright the second from Carmel Swim Club. Lane 2 is Tommy Joe Hanneman, 12-year-old from Fishers Area Swimming Tigers. Lane 3, Ryan Neller, 12-year-old from the Fort Wayne Swim Team. Lane 4, Vincent Howell, 12-year-old from Center Grove Aquatic Club. Lane 5, Toby Dollins, 12-year-old from the Zionsville Swim Club. Lane 6, Jackson Parrish, 12-year-old from the Fort Wayne Swim Team. Lane 7, Andrew Klein, 12-year-old from the Zionsville Swim Club. And then lane 8, Brady Hinshaw, 12-year-old from the Zionsville Swim Club. And taking the win in lane 4 is Vincent Howe, 28:38. Second place in lane 3 was Neller in a time of 29.02. So that concludes event 54 preliminary heats. Event 55 now, 13-14 girls 50-meter freestyle. We'll have 6 preliminary heats. And heat 1, lane 3, Callie Rayfield, 13-year-old from the Pike Township Swim Club. Lane 4, Sierra Jones, 14-year-old from Duneland Swim Club. And in lane 5, Abby Wensick, 14-year-old from Irish Aquatics. Meet record set in 2015 is 25.91 in this event. Lane 4 will take the win in this opening heat. Sierra Jones in a time of 28.81. Wensick gets second in a time of 29.30. Heat 2, lane 1, Anna Wheel, 14-year-old from Duneland Swim Club. Lane 2, Avery Woods, 13-year-old from Pro Swimming. Lane 3 is Ellie Parrish, 14-year-old from the Fort Wayne Swim Team. Lane 4, Emma Pletcher, 14-year-old from Lawrence Swim Team. Lane 5, Avery Stein, 13-year-old from Fishers area. Lane 6 is Allie Inge, 13-year-old from Carmel Swim Club. Lane 7 is Brielle Vale, 14-year-old from the Lawrence Swim Team. And in lane 8 we have Ella Lance, 14-year-old from Concord Swim Club. Heat 2 of 6 preliminary heats, 13-14 girls, 50-meter freestyle. It's going to be a good finish here between, it looks like, 3 or 4 swimmers. The victory goes to lane 7, Brielle Vale, in a time of 28.90. Second place in lane 1 was Anna Wheel, 29.01 her time. Heat 3 in lane 1, Americus Engling, 14-year-old from Northridge Area Swimming Association. Lane 2 is Catherine Kessler, 14-year-old from the Southeastern Swim Club of Fishers. Lane 3, Kinley Garman, 14-year-old from the Fort Wayne Swim Team. Lane 4 is Caitlin Curtin, 14-year-old from the Southeastern Swim Club of Fishers. Lane 5 is Annie Spoleto, 13-year-old from Westfield Aquatics. Lane 6 is Carolyn Santori, 14-year-old from Noblesville Swim Club. Lane 6 is lane 7 is Maddie Lathrop, 13-year-old from Carmel Swim Club. And in lane 8, Ava Olson, a 14-year-old from the Southeastern Swim Club of Fishers. And this is a very competitive heat. All the swimmers right together as we come to the touch pad here. Maybe at the top of your screen is the battle. The win will go to lane 2, Catherine Kessler, in a time of 28.87. Second place in lane 8 was Ava Olson in a time of 28.93. Heat 4 in lane 1, Paige Crawford, 14-year-old from the Southeastern Swim Club of Fishers. Lane 2, Natalie Marshall, 14-year-old from the Fort Wayne Swim Team. Lane 3, Kaylee Myers, 14-year-old from the Pike Township Swim Club. Lane 4, Barrett Bergwin, 14-year-old from Carmel Swim Club. Lane 5, Lexi Jankowski, 14-year-old from the Fort Wayne Swim Team. Lane 6, Ashley Friel, 13-year-old from Indiana Swim Club. Lane 7, Audrey Lance, 14-year-old from Concord Swim Club. And in lane 8, Luca McGee, 13-year-old from Three Rivers Aquatic Club. Heat 4, 13-14 girls 50-meter freestyle. Like in the middle of the pool here, the battle of lanes 4 and 5, Bergwin and Jankowski. And the win will go to Jankowski in lane 5, 27.80. Second place, Bergwin in lane 4, 27.97. Moving to heat 5 now, In lane 1, Grace Newton, a 14-year-old from the Southeastern Swim Club of Fishers. Lane 2, Molly Robinson, 14-year-old from the Southeastern Swim Club of Fishers. Lane 3 is Nora George Miller, 14-year-old from Goshen Swimming. Lane 4 is Megan Chrisman, the 14-year-old from Carmel Swim Club. Lane 5, Sophie Kloppenberg, 14-year-old from the Mount Vernon Swim Team. Lane 6, Chloe Plank, 13-year-old Newburgh Sea Creatures. Lane 7 is Lucy Mitchell, 14-year-old from the Best Elite Swim Team. And in lane 8 is Jordan Alders, a 14-year-old from Duneland Swim Club. One more preliminary heat after this. This is heat 5. Looks like we got Megan Chrisman out front in lane 4 here. And she's going to win this heat. Megan stops the clock on the time of 27:18. Second place was Sophie Kloppenberg in lane 5 at a time of 28.16. Final preliminary heat now. Girls 13, 14-year-olds in the 50-meter freestyle. Heat 6. In lane 1, Sam Hunter, 14-year-old from Goshen Swimming. Lane 2, Casey McNulty, 14-year-old from the Munster Swim Club. Lane 3 is Pippa Wasana Samasteel from 13-year-old from Indiana Swim Club. That's Pippa Wasana Samsiti. In lane 4, we have Lily Christensen, a 13-year-old from Irish Aquatics. Lane 5 is Ashley Sapple, 14-year-old from the Southeastern Swim Club of Fishers. Lane 6, Kaya Podlin, 13-year-old from Irish Aquatics. Lane 7, Allison Lacey, 14-year-old from Franklin Regional. And in lane Annabelle Quee, 13-year-old from Carmel Swim Club. Lily Christensen wins the heat in lane 4 in a time of 27:47. Second place in lane 5, Ashley Sapple, 28.20. Move to event 56 now. We have 4 preliminary heats for the 13-14 boys in the 50-meter freestyle. In heat 1, in lane 1, we've got Walker Matthijs, 13-year-old from Zionsville Swim Club. Lane 2, Evan Hernandez, 14-year-old from Center Grove Aquatic Club. Lane 3 is Isaiah Peterson, 14-year-old from Fort Wayne Swim Team. Lane 4, Gavin Nagdeman, 14-year-old from Duneland Swim Club. Lane 5 is Kurt Guerin, 14-year-old from Riverside Aquatics. Lane 6, Ian Ross, 13-year-old from the Southeastern Swim Club of Fishers. And in lane 7, Matthew Klinge, 13-year-old from Boilermaker Aquatics. Looks like the wind's going to go to lane 2 here. That's Evan Hernandez in a time of 27:46. Second place in lane 4 to Nagdeman, 27:89. In heat 2, lane 1, Sam Smith, 14-year-old Indian Creek Aquatic Club. Lane 2, Jack Stedham, 13-year-old from the Washington Township Swim Club. Lane 3, Brady Gray, 14-year-old from the Mount Vernon Swim Team. Lane 4, A.J. Robertson, 14-year-old from the Carmel Swim Club. Lane 5, Daniel Utterback, 14-year-old from Franklin Regional. Lane 6, Gabe Barry, 14-year-old Zionsville Swim Club. Lane 7, Owen Lindsay, the 13-year-old from the SWAC Swim Team. And in lane 8, Keaton Chop, 14-year-old from Fishers area. Your win in the heat will go to lane 4, A.J. Robertson, 25:70 at the time. Second place Utterback in lane 5, 26.01. Meet record in this event is 24:38 set in 2014. Heat 3, lane 1, Sky Sterry, 13-year-old from Goshen Swimming. Lane 2, Isaac Martin, 14-year-old from the Munster Swim Club. Lane 3, Colin Parker, 14-year-old from Washington Township Swim Club. Lane 4, Caden Lancaster, 14-year-old from Carmel Swim Club. Lane 5, Easton Heiser, 14-year-old from the Zionsville Swim Club. Lane 6, William Ratchis, 14-year-old from Riviera Swim Team. Lane 7, J.J. Smith, 14-year-old Brownsburg Swim Club. And lane 8, Ryan Feller, the 14-year-old from Newburgh Sea Creatures. Lane 4 will take the win. That's Caden Lancaster, 25:62 for Caden. Second place, Easton Heiser in lane 5. He goes a 26:07. Heat 4 now. Lane 1, Colin Cosspade, 14-year-old from Duneland Swim Club. Lane 2, Aiden Totten, 14-year-old from the Fish Aquatics. Lane 3, Zane Hendrickson, 14-year-old Boonville Dolphins. Lane 5, Carter Bramus, 13-year-old from Riviera Swim Team. Lane 5, Brody Friend, 14-year-old from Washington Township Swim Club. Lane 6 is Adrian Buxkowski, 14-year-old Boilermaker Aquatics. Lane 7, Colin Fleming, 14-year-old from Pro Swimming. And in lane 8, Alex Kostick, 14-year-old from Crown Point Swim Club. Brody Friend won the heat in a time of 25.60. Second place was Carter Brames from Riviera in a time of 26.09. Move to event 57 now. 11-12 girls 200 meter IM, the individual medley. In heat 1 of 3 in lane 2, Savannah Irizarry, 12-year-old from Carmel Swim Club. Lane 3 is Kayla Barr, 11-year-old Carmel Swim Club. Lane 4, Katie Brenneman, 11-year-old from the Concord Swim Club. Lane 5 is Bella Tufts, 12-year-old from the Crown Point Swim Club. Lane 6 is Madison Conley, 12-year-old from Carmel Swim Club. And in lane 7 is Frankie Ramey, 11-year-old from Fishers Area Swimming Tigers. Your meet record in this event, 2:28.02, set in 2014. This is heat 1 of 3. 11-12 girls 200 meter individual medley. Preliminary heats here. On the backstroke leg, each swimmer will swim one length of this pool, each stroke discipline here. Breaststroke now. Your leader in lane 4 here in this opening heat is Katie Brenneman from Concord out in a 1:13.26. Second place is Bella Tufts in lane 5. Brenneman a commanding lead now in this heat. She's got less than 25 meters left on the breaststroke leg. And she's going to have a humongous advantage heading to the freestyle leg, as she's going to get a number of strokes in freestyle while everybody else is swimming breaststroke here, that being Brenneman, the leader in lane 4. So Brenneman makes the turn. She's underway on the freestyle leg. This is heat 1, 11-12 girls 200 meter individual medley. So Katie Brenneman on her way to winning this opening heat here. See what her winning time is. It's 2:34.39. We got a battle for second here. Let's see who gets second in this first heat. It's going to go to lane 5. That's Tufts in a time of 2:43.37. Heat 2 now. 11-12 girls 200 meter individual medley. In lane 2, Kiera Thomas, 12-year-old from the Carmel Swim Club. Lane 3 is Sawyer DeWitt, 12-year-old from Boilermaker Aquatics. Lane 4, Lexi Ward, 12-year-old Carmel Swim Club. Lane 5, we have Lindsey Bowen, the 11-year-old from Carmel Swim Club. Lane 6 is Milla Hawkins, 12-year-old from Howard County Aquatics. And lane 8, Madison Whistle, 12-year-old from SWAC Swim Team. On the backstroke leg, lane 4 with a pretty large lead right now. That's Lexi Ward from the Carmel Swim Club. Swimmers now will get ready to transition to the breaststroke leg. It is Lexi Ward out in front in lane 4. Followed by Lindsey Bowen in lane 5, who's in second. One more preliminary heat after this. 11-12 girls 200-meter individual medley. Here in heat 2, Lexi Ward in lane 4 has led wire to wire so far. She heads to the far end of the pool, about ready to make her final turn in this race and transition to the freestyle leg, and she's going to have that big advantage again, get a stroke or two of freestyle underway while everybody else is swimming breaststroke. So Lexi Ward's on her way to winning heat 2 here, 11-12 girls 200-meter individual medley. Winning time for Lexi will be 2:33.81. Second place will be Lindsey Bowen in lane 5. Bowen with a 2:40.20. Third and final preliminary heat now. In lane 1, Olivia Ford, 12-year-old from Greenwood Gators. Lane 2 is Molly Sweeney, 11-year-old from Carmel Swim Club. Lane 3 is Maya Wilson, 12-year-old from Fishers Area Swimming Tigers. Lane 4, Lil Ratzliff, 12-year-old from Franklin Regional Swim Team. Lane 5, Jennifer Barajas, 12-year-old from the Munster Swim Club. Lane 6, Marie Hessler, 11-year-old from the Sugar Creek Swim Club. And in lane 8, we have Lucia Zhang, 12-year-old from Fish Aquatics. Good battle in the middle of the pool here on this backstroke leg as we just underway on the backstroke leg. Lane 4, Ratzliff has the lead. And right below her, Barajas in 5. Got a half a body length behind. Coming on strong on the backstroke leg at the top of your screen now in lane 1 is Olivia Ford from the Greenwood Gators. It looks like it will be lane 4, Ratzliff. Who'll take the lead to the breaststroke leg here on this 200-meter individual medley. Followed in second by Barajas in 5, and in third place in lane 1 is Olivia Ford. This looks like it may be a little bit more of a competitive heat. First two heats we saw runaway winners here in the 11-12 girls 200-meter IM, although Lil Ratzliff from Franklin Regional looks like she may be opening things up now in lane 4 on this breaststroke leg. And for the third consecutive race, we'll have the leader get a good couple of strokes of freestyle in before the rest of the field makes the turn to freestyle. That's just an advantage that's really hard to overcome when you're swimming freestyle and everybody else is swimming breaststroke. So Lil Ratzliff pulling away on the back half of this race is going to take the win in lane 4 here in heat 3. And her winning time here in this heat will be 2:31.36. Second place in lane 5 will be Barajas. 2:35.93 and a good back half swim in lane 3 from Mia Wilson from Fishers Area. Finishes third in 2:42.48. 11-12 boys now 200-meter individual medley. First of 4 preliminary heats. In lane 1, Max Malloy, 12-year-old from Elkhart United Aquatics. Lane 2 is Shannon Wright, 12-year-old from Carmel Swim Club. Lane 3, Brady Sweeney, 12-year-old from Carmel Swim Club. Lane 4, Amadeo Kincaid, 12-year-old from the Duneland Swim Club. Lane 5 is Jerry Hunley, 12-year-old from Jennings County Swim Club. Lane 6 is Alexander Rees, 11-year-old from Franklin Regional Swim Team. Lane 7 Luke Pugh, 12-year-old from Carmel Swim Club. And in lane 8, George Patterson, an 11-year-old from the Valparaiso Swim Club. Your meet record in this event. Set in night, goes all the way back to 1998. It's 2:21.71. And we'll keep our eye on that meet record in this event. We've got Carter Lancaster in the 4th preliminary heat with a seed time below the meet record. So we'll see how that shapes up when we get to the heat, that 4th heat. Here on the backstroke leg in heat 1 in lane 1, the leader right now is Amadeo Kincaid from Dunlin as he transitions to breaststroke. Looks like on the breaststroke leg here in lane 1, we've got Max Malloy from Elkhart United. He's making a little bit of move on this breaststroke leg. Will it be enough to get him to the lead? Heading to the freestyle leg, we'll wait and see. He looks pretty strong out in lane 1. That's at the top of your screen. The lead as we transition to freestyle belongs still to Kincaid in lane 4, followed closely by Malloy in lane 1. Freestyle leg now. Heat 1 here, boys 11, 12-year-olds in the 200-meter individual medley. Looks like Kincaid still hanging on to that lead with less than a half a lap to go. Good battles behind him. Battle very well maybe for second. Here we time at the finish. Looks like Kincaid, Amadeo Kincaid from Dunlin will win this opening heat. His time 2:45.59. Hanging on for second, Max Malloy in lane 1, 2:47.74. Heat 2. 11-12 boys, 200-meter individual medley. Lane 1, Anderson Kopp, 12-year-old from the Carmel Swim Club. Lane 2, Ethan Zhang, 12-year-old from the Carmel Swim Club. Lane 3 is Zach Vervleed, 12-year-old from Lake Central Barracudas. Lane 4, Eduardo Sanchez, 12-year-old from Fishers area. Lane 5, Mason Cruz, 12-year-old from the Fort Wayne Swim Team. Lane 6, Gavin Barnes, 12-year-old from Brownsburg Swim Club. Lane 7, we have Hayden Lynham, 12-year-old from the SWAC Swim Team. And in lane 8, Luke Parsons, 12-year-old from Terre Haute Torpedoes. Take a second to thank our camera operators here this morning for the prelims this morning here on this Saturday morning. We had Zach Zimmerman and Riley Taylor helping us out on camera. I'm Eric Eaton, and we also have Adrian Jarding running production truck right now. He split time with me calling the races as well. On this backstroke leg, we have lane 3 with the lead. That's Vervleed from Lake Central Barracudas. And he's going to have more than a body length advantage over the second place swimmer in lane 4. Sanchez he transitions to breaststroke. Long course meters, a lot of open water on breaststroke, a lot of time to gain some ground if it is a strong stroke that you have. It looks like Vervleed still a pretty big lead. Well, maybe moving in on second place here in lane 5 here on this breaststroke leg is Mason Cruz from Fort Wayne Swim Team. See if he moves into second place down at the far end of the pool. Vervleed turns and starts the freestyle leg. Second place is Cruz in lane 5. Does he have anything to reel in Vervleed here with a half a lap left? I'm not sure he does. Coming back now on the freestyle a little bit in lane 4 is Sanchez. The win in this second heat will go to Zach Vervlied. Vervlied winning time, 2:37.25. Second place to Mason Cruz in a time of 2:39.20. Third heat now of 4 preliminary heats, 11-12 boys, 200-meter individual medley. In lane 1, Carter Hadley, 11-year-old from Carmel Swim Club. Lane 2, Hayden Weber, 12-year-old from Lake Central Barracudas. Lane 3, Abbas Hakeem, 12-year-old from LaPorte Community Turbos. Lane 4 is Gabe Kazmierzik, 12-year-old from Elkhart United Aquatics. Lane 5 is Elijah Hall, 12-year-old from Brownsburg Swim Club. Lane 6 is Jihoon Jung, 12-year-old from the Southeastern Swim Club of Fishers. Lane 7 is Ara Gokale, 12-year-old from Greenwood Gators. And in lane 8 we have Zach Welch, 11-year-old from Carmel Swim Club. Backstroke leg here. It's lane 4 with the lead. Kazmierzik from Elkhart United. So it'll be more than a body length lead for Kazmierzik as he transitions to breaststroke in lane 4. Splits it a 1:12.68. Second place in lane 5 is Hall at a 1:15.40. Trying to see who's making a move on breaststroke here. It may be lane 2 at the top of your screen. Hayden Weber from the Lake Central Barracudas, a bit of a, he was kind of well off the pace. He's moved into maybe that battle for second, into a battle for second. We'll see at the far end of the pool, but it's still going to be Kazmierzik. He's going to turn as the leader to start the freestyle leg in lane 4 here in heat 3. Second place is Hall in lane 5. Battling for second here in the heat. Hall in 5 and Jung in 6. As Kazmierzik in lane 4 is going to win this third heat. See what the time is for Gabe Kazmierzik. He stops the clock in 2:35.19. Second place will go to Jihoon Jung in lane 6 in the Southeastern Swim Club, 2:38. I believe it's 2:38.07. On to heat 4 now. Lane 1, Jack Keyser, 12-year-old from Carmel Swim Club. Lane 2, Lucas Pagel, 12-year-old from Indiana Swim Club. Lane 3 is Misha Macavarini, 12-year-old from Club Olympia Swim Team. Lane 4 is Carter Lancaster, the 12-year-old from Carmel Swim Club. Lane 5, Lewis Jang, 11-year-old from Cardinal Community Swim Club. Lane 6, Corey Han, 11-year-old from Carmel Swim Club. Lane 7 is Noah Geppert, 12-year-old from Riviera Swim Club. And in lane 8, Henry Coe, 12-year-old from Cardinal Community Swim Club. Carter Lancaster in lane 4 holds the association record. That's the seed time in this event, 2:17.69. The meet record is 2:21.71, set in 1998 by Gabe Wazorek. So we'll see if a meet record falls here in this heat. Certainly Lancaster's seated a good 4 seconds below the meet record, so I would think he's got a good shot at it here. And he's opened up a huge lead on the backstroke leg here in lane 4. Outstanding weekend so far for Carter already as he transitions to breaststroke, splits a 103.95 in his first 100. He's not only set meet and association records this year, some of his times this weekend have been some of the fastest times ever recorded in USA swimming for his age group. I think the 200 backstroke, I believe it was the 200 backstroke last night. I think he won that event in what was the third fastest time ever in USA swimming for his age group in the 200 meter back. So here he comes, Carter Lancaster in lane 4, dominating. He's going to win by over half a length of the pool here in this fourth and final heat. He's going to set a new meet record, and he breaks the association record too. 2:16.82 for Carter Lancaster is the new meet and association record here in the 11-12 boys 200 meter individual medley. So 2:16.82. So the records continue to fall here this weekend for Carter Lancaster of the Carmel Swim Club. Second place in the heat to Lucas Pago on a time of 2:35.29. And third place, Louis Zhang, 2:36.11. So congratulations to Carter Lancaster. Meet and association record 2:16.82 in 11-12 boys 200 meter individual medley. We'll see if he can break it again tonight in the finals. Event 59, 13-14, girls 200 meter individual medley. 6 preliminary heats. In lane 2, it'll be Brielle Vale, that 14-year-old from the Lawrence swim team. Lane 3, Paige Sherman, 14-year-old from the Carmel Swim Club. Lane 4, Caitlin Curtin, 14-year-old from the Southeastern Swim Club of Fishers. Lane 5 is Tavia Brott, 14-year-old from North Virginia Swimming Association. Lane 6 is Kelsey Wazakowski, 14-year-old from Boilermaker Aquatics. And lane 7, Allison Williams, 14-year-old from the Fort Wayne swim team. Meet record in this event goes back to 2013, 2:20.63. Lane 6 with the lead here on the backstroke leg. That's Wazakowski from Boilermaker. Glides in and does the back to breast flip turn. Let's see who's making the move on breaststroke. Looks like lanes 3 and 4 here. You have Caitlin Curtin, or excuse me, Caitlin Curtin. Yeah, Caitlin Curtin in 4, and also Paige Sherman in 3. Or check that. It's going to actually be lanes 4 and 5 here, making the move on breaststroke. Curtin in 4 and Brott in 5, and I believe Tavia Brott in 5 has taken over the lead on this breaststroke leg. That's the case. Wazakowski second in lane 6 as we're underway here on the freestyle leg. Heat 1, 13-14 girls 200 meter individual medley. 6 preliminary heats. Tavia Brott now pulling away. See what the winning time is for Tavia. It's going to be 2:37.36. Second place, Kelsey Wasakowski in lane 6, 2:39.26. Heat 2 now. In lane 1, we have Sydney Corin, 13-year-old from the SWAC swim team. Lane 3 is Sam Hunter, 14-year-old from Goshen Swimming. Lane 3, Chloe Talbert, 13-year-old from Indiana Swim Club. Lane 4 is Ellie Overbeck, 14-year-old from Carmel Swim Club. Lane 5, Luca McGee, 13-year-old from Three Rivers Aquatic Club. Lane 6, Jasmine Wegman, 13-year-old from Munster Swim Club. Lane 7, Audrey Lance, 14-year-old from the Concord Swim Club. And in lane 8, Claire Parsons, 14-year-old from Terre Haute Torpedoes. We'll watch Luca McGee in lane 5. We saw her earlier in one of the preliminary heats of the 400-meter freestyle have a dominating swim, so we would think that she would have at least some endurance in this, swimming longer distances. We'll see how that factors in here. Of course, she's got to swim different stroke disciplines as well, not just freestyle. The whole way in this one is this is an individual medley. Good competitive backstroke leg here. It's like the 3 leaders at the top of your screens, lanes 1 through 3, Korn in 1, Hunter in 2, and Talbert in 3. And now closing in on in 4 as well as Ellie Overbeck from Carmel Swim Club. Touching first in, actually it's the bottom of your screen in lane 8, Claire Parsons in a 1:13.44 from the Terre Haute Torpedoes. So might be a little hard to see down there. She's blocked by the athletes and coaches on the side of the pool in lane 8. But was the strong move on the breaststroke leg here in lane 3 is Chloe Talbert from Indiana Swim Club now. As I think she's charged to the front. Great breaststroke leg, 43.84 for the 50 meters in breaststroke for Talbert. She has the lead in lane 3. Second place in lane 2 is Sam Hunter. Freestyle leg now. More than a body length lead for Talbert in 3. And as I said, McGee now closing in in a battle for third, but the battle may be for the lead here at the touchpad as Sam Hunter in lane 2 has made a big charge on Talbert. McGee coming too, but I think the win is going to go to Hunter in lane 2. It does. Sam Hunter, 2:35.13 with a great freestyle leg. Second place Talbert, 2:35.72. And Parsons held on to third in lane 8, 2:35.95. So we saw some swimmers come off the pace there on the back half and contend, and it was Hunter taking the win in heat 2. Heat 3, lane 1, Ari Stieber, 13-year-old from Carmel Swim Club. Lane 2 is Maggie Morse, 13-year-old from Crown Point Swim Club. Lane 3 is Demi Hanswicks, 13-year-old from Terre Haute Torpedoes. Lane 4, Bella Sponseller, 14-year-old from the Concord Swim Club. Lane 5, Chrissy Bazin, 13-year-old from the Mount Vernon Swim Team. Lane 6 is Sydney Warnicki, 14-year-old from the Carmel Swim Club. Lane 7, Adriana German, 13-year-old from the SWAC Swim Team. And in lane 8, Autumn Bruns, 14-year-old from Fort Wayne Swim Team. The lead in lane 5 belongs to Bazin on the Mount Vernon Swim Team, although we've got some swimmers closing on her here at the end of this backstroke leg, particularly in lane 1, Stieber, and also in lane 6, Warnicki. Who's going to take the lead at the end of the backstroke leg? It'll be Warnicki in lane 6 from the Carmel Swim Club. Looking to see who's got strong breaststroke legs underway. I can tell you that Bazin does in lane 5, and also at the top of your screen in lane 1. Is Ari Stieber from Carmel Swim Club. The lead at the end of the breaststroke leg will belong to Bazin in lane 5. Second place in lane 2 was Maggie Morse, who had a good close to her breaststroke leg. Bazin with the lead, less than 25 meters to go here in this heat. Third of 6 preliminary heats. Stever trying to fight back and close in on this freestyle leg and make this a challenge. And at the finish, Bazin's going to take the heat win, 234.24 in lane 5. Second place was Ari Stever in lane 1, 234.87. Heat 4 now. In lane 1, we have Catherine Kessler, 14-year-old from the Southeastern Swim Club of Fishers. Lane 2, Emily Buning, 14-year-old from the Washington Township Swim Club. Lane 3, Kiera Kask, 14-year-old from Riviera Swim Team. Lane 5 is Aylin Zerlini, 13-year-old from Newburgh Sea Creatures. Lane 5, Ripley Merritt, 13-year-old from the SWAC Swim Team. Lane 6, Molly Robinson, 14-year-old from the Southeastern Swim Club of Fishers. Lane 7, Abby Harkema, 14-year-old from Lake Central Barracudas. And in lane 8, Ava Butterfield, 13-year-old from the Newburgh Sea Creatures. Fourth of 6 preliminary heats in 13-14 girls 200-meter individual medley. Lane 5, Ripley Merritt with the lead on the backstroke leg here. Second place in lane 4 is Zerlini from Newburgh Sea Creatures. Here comes Merritt. She's got about a 3/4 of a body length lead, transitioning to breaststroke. Zerlini is catching up to Merritt on this breaststroke leg and maybe taking the lead. Zerlini in lane 4. Aylin Zerlini in lane 4 with the lead. She starts the freestyle leg. Second place in lane 5 is Ripley Merritt. Oh, a good freestyle leg here in lane 7. Abby Harkema. And then also right next to her, Molly Robinson as well. Good freestyle leg. The win in the heat's going to go to Aylin Zerlini in lane 4. Really on the strength of the breaststroke leg. She wins the heat in a time of 2:29.42. Second place, Ripley Merritt in a time of 2:30.66. Harkema closes to finish third in a time of 2:31.28. Heat 5 now. In lane 1, Anna Stoll, 14-year-old from the Southeastern Swim Club of Fishers. Lane 2 is Jillian Lynham, 14-year-old from the SWAC Swim Team. Lane 3, Megan Chrisman, 14-year-old from the Carmel Swim Club. Lane 4 is Aaliyah Decker, 14-year-old from Lake Central Barracudas. Lane 5, we have Audrey Crawford, 13-year-old from the Southeastern Swim Club of Fishers. Lane 6, Casey McNulty, 14-year-old from Munster Swim Club. Lane 7, Allison Lacey, 14-year-old from Franklin Regional. And in lane 8, Annabelle Quee, 13-year-old from the Carmel Swim Club. Halfway through the backstroke here in lane 3, it's Megan Chrisman with the lead. Closing now on Chrisman. In lane 4 is Aaliyah Decker from Lake Central Barracudas as we near the conclusion of this backstroke leg. Decker will take the lead in lane 4 as she does the back to breaststroke flip turn. But a good competitive race here. Lanes 2, 3, 4, and 5 right together here on this breaststroke leg. So a lot could change here on this breaststroke leg. We'll see what does unfold here. Perhaps lanes 3 and 4 and 5 maybe pulling out a little bit of an advantage here on the breaststroke leg. You got Chrisman in 3, Decker in 4, and Crawford in 5. At the far end of the pool, see who gets their hands on the touchpad first on this breaststroke leg. It's going to be, it said Anna Stoll in lane 1, but that's not correct. It's going to be Decker in lane 4. Aaliyah Decker with the lead in lane 4 on the freestyle leg. Challenged by Chrisman in 3 and Crawford in 5 here as we near the finish of this heat. Aaliyah Decker will win this 5th heat. Her winning time is 2:27.84. Second place will go to Chrisman in a time of 2:28.44. 6th and final heat now. 13-14 girls 200-meter individual medley. In lane 1, Taylor Stasny, 13-year-old from Lake Central Barracudas. Lane 2, Kaya Podlin, 13-year-old from Irish Aquatics. Lane 3, Rachel Dildine, 13-year-old from the Duneland Swim Club. Lane 4 is Kate Mouser, 14-year-old from Fishers Area Swimming Tigers. Lane 5, JoJo Ramey, the 14-year-old from Fishers Area Swimming Tigers. Lane 6, Vivian Wilson, 14-year-old from the Carmel Swim Club. Lane 7, Tegan Madera, 13-year-old from Power Aquatics. And lane 8, Lexi Jankowski, 14-year-old from the Fort Wayne Swim Team. Butterfly leg concludes with the lead in lane 4 to Kate Mouser from Fishers Area. Taking over the lead on the backstroke leg, though, here in lane 5, though, is JoJo Ramey from Fishers Area. And pulling away on this backstroke leg, pulling out to more than a body length lead, is JoJo Ramey. Much quicker tempo on that backstroke than everybody else does Ramey as she transitions to breaststroke. Well, the battles for second well behind JoJo Ramey at this point here in this heat. You got lanes 2, 4, and 6 battling for second. Podlin in 2. Mouser in 4 and Vivian Wilson in 6. Or excuse me, lane 3, 4, and 6. Dildine in 3. In fact, Dildine, pretty good breaststroke leg, as I think she may have moved into second place. But big advantage for JoJo Ramey in 5 as she transitions to freestyle. Mouser actually did hang on to second place, transitioning to freestyle ahead of Dildine. But that's still a good battle for second with a half a lap left here in the race. JoJo Ramey, outstanding backstroke leg. And she's going to make that hold up here and win this 6th and final heat in lane 5 in a winning time of 2:24.53. Second place will go to Kate Mouser in lane 4, 2:27.59 for Mouser. Event 60 now, 13-14 boys 200-meter individual medley preliminary heats. We have 4 preliminary heats. In heat 1, lane 1 will be Colin Parker, 14-year-old from the Washington Township Swim Club. Lane 2, Wyatt Sealer, 14-year-old from the Zionsville Swim Club. Lane 3 is Matthew Klinge, 13-year-old from Boilermaker Aquatics. Lane 4, Colin Fleming, 14-year-old from Pro Swimming. Lane 5, Noah Welter, 13-year-old from the SWAC Swim Team. Lane 6 is Malcolm Slater, 14-year-old from the Zionsville Swim Club. Lane 7 is Nick Eddy, 13-year-old from Three Rivers Aquatic Club. And in lane 8, Nicholas Summers, 14-year-old from Avon Community Swim Team. In this event, meet record is 2:09.78, set in 2017, also the association record. 2:09.78, that meet record. Lane 4 with the lead here at the end of the backstroke leg. That's going to be Colin Fleming. Fleming continuing to lead here on this breaststroke leg in lane 4. Lanes 1 and 2 with some pretty good breaststroke swims here. You got Parker in 1 and Sealer in 2. And lane 1 touchpad not working correctly as it's continuing to show lane 1 as the leader on the scoreboard. That's not correct, as that is malfunctioning. Colin Fleming in lane 4 is on his way, I believe, to winning this opening heat. 13-14 boys 200-meter individual medley. Good freestyle swims, though, from lane 2, Sealer. And in lane 7 as well, Nick Eddy. Fleming wins this opening heat in a time of 2:27.52, finishing second. In lane 7 will be Nick Eddy in a time of 2:29.29. Again, that first place position that lane 1 is showing is not correct on the scoreboard, as it's lane 1 malfunctioning, that touchpad. Heat 2, lane 1, Brody Friend, 14-year-old from Washington Township Swim Club. Lane 2, Adam McCurdy, 14-year-old from Three Rivers Aquatic Club. As we get an individual a little bit anxious, he'll have to jump back up on the block here. Let's reset the lane assignments. Lane 1, Brody Friend, 14-year-old from Washington Township Swim Club. Lane 2, Adam McCurdy, 14-year-old from Three Rivers Aquatic Club. Lane 3, Connor Paris, 14-year-old from Riverside Aquatics Club. Lane 4, KJ Sweeney, 14-year-old from Carmel Swim Club. Lane 5 is Seth Cannon, 13-year-old from Newburgh Sea Creatures. Lane 7, Greg Enoch, 13-year-old from Noblesville Swim Club. Lane 7, Gabe Berry, 14-year-old from the Zionsville Swim Club. And in lane 8, Ethan Moody, 14-year-old from Dunlin. So lane 7 is going to be open here as we get heat 2 underway. Apparently they viewed that as a false start, so he was that individual removed from the lane via disqualification. Lanes 4 and 5 battling here on this backstroke leg. You've got Sweeney in 4 and Cannon in 5. Right together, both individuals will transition basically at the same time to breaststroke. Slight lead to Sweeney in 4. Freestyle leg now. We've still got Sweeney in 4 and Cannon in 5 right together here. That small advantage for Sweeney still with a half a length of the pool left. And KJ Sweeney in lane 4 going to win the second heat. Winning time 2:19:03 we've got the touch pads all operating properly again. You see Sweeney first place position next to his name. Second place, Seth Cannon, lane 5, 2:20.19. Heat 3 now of 4 preliminary heats. 13-14 boys 200-meter individual medley. In lane 1, Ryan Knipp, 14-year-old from Boilermaker Aquatics. Lane 2 is Justin Banks, the 14-year-old from Hoosier Hills Otters. Lane 3, Emil Haig, 13-year-old from Indiana Swim Club. Lane 4, Brady Byer, 14-year-old from Club Olympia. Lane 5, Louis Henderson, the 14-year-old from Fishers Area Swimming Tigers. Lane 6, Brandon Malicki, 13-year-old from Carmel Swim Club. Lane 7 is Carson Zotek, 13-year-old from Carmel Swim Club. And in lane 8, Brandon Trin, 13-year-old from Carmel Swim Club. We'll have one more preliminary heat after this. 13-14 boys 200-meter individual medley. Then we'll move to relays. Timed finals in the 11-12-year-olds 200-meter medley relay. Backstroke leader right now here in lane 5 is Louis Henderson from Fishers Area, ahead of Emil Haig, who's in lane 3 as we start the breaststroke leg of this 200-meter individual medley. Good breaststroke leg here and a big move in lane 4 by Brady Byer from Club Olympia as he's moved to the lead. And now opening up things in lane 4 is Byer, as he gets ready to transition to freestyle in lane 4 as the leader. Great back half swim by Brady Byer here in lane 4 here in this individual medley. Pulling away to victory here in this third preliminary heat. See what Brady Byer stops the clock at, and he does so in a time of 2:17.62. Second place to Louis Henderson, a time of 2:20.53. That brings us to the fourth and final preliminary heat, 13-14 boys 200-meter individual medley. In lane 1, Whit Horton, 13-year-old from Sugar Creek Swim Club. Lane 2 is Seketh Reddy, 14-year-old from the Newburgh Sea Creatures. Lane 3 is Carter Brames, 13-year-old from Riviera Swim Team. Lane 4, Connor Carlisle, 14-year-old from Fishers Area Swimming Tigers. Lane 5, Dan Bennett, 14-year-old, also from Fishers Area Swimming Tigers. Lane 6, Owen Lindsay, 13-year-old from the SWAC Swim Team. Lane 7, Colin Cosbade, 14-year-old from the Duneland Swim Club. And in lane 8, J.J. Schmidt, 14-year-old from the Brownsburg Swim Club. Leader in lane 4 on this backstroke leg is Carlisle from Fishers Area. More than a body length lead right now. Battling for second here in lanes 3 and 5 is Brames in 5 and Bennett in 5. Brames in 3 and Bennett in lane 5. As the leader, Carlisle, transitions to breaststroke. Second place is Bennett in 5. And the leader at the far end of the pool Transition to freestyle is Carlisle in 4. Second place right below him, Bennett in 5. As we come up on a half a length of the pool left in this race here in Heat 4. Connor Carlisle on his way to winning this final heat. Looks like his teammate, both Fishers Area Swimming Tigers, Dan Bennett will finish in second. Connor Carlisle wins the heat in a time of 2:15.43. Second place to Dan Bennett in a time of 2:19.15. Next up is event 61. 11-12 girls 200-meter medley relay. We'll have time finals. 2 of the 3 heats will swim in prelims. The third heat will swim tonight with finals. Meet record and association record established in 2016, 2:09.43. In heat 1, lane 1 will be open. Lane 2 will be Fish Aquatics. Leading them off on backstroke will be Jillian Giese. Lane 3 will be Irish Aquatics A, led off by Vanessa Domoleski. Lane 4, Center Grove Aquatic Club A, led off by Kayla Fisher. Lane 5, Washington Township A, led off by Katie Countryman. And in lane 6 will be Michiana Stars A, led off by Elena Bryson. So backstrokers are in the water. And we'll use the starting blocks on both ends of the pool here. Each swimmer will swim 50 meters. Backstrokers first, then they'll be followed by the breaststrokers, butterflyers, and then the freestylers. So at the far end of the pool, leading here after the backstroke leg in lane 6 was Michiana Stars A. Let's take a look at the breaststrokers. For Fish Aquatics A, Sarah Lubin. For Irish A, it's Ellison Jankovic. For Center Grove A, it's Izzy Ferguson. For Washington Township A, Sarah McPherson. And for Michiana Stars A, Mylea McKay. Washington Township A has moved to the lead in lane 5 on the breaststroke leg. As we get ready for the butterflyers, here are your butterflyers. For Fish Aquatics A, Lucia Zhang. For Irish Aquatics A, Charlie Drew. For Center Grove Aquatic Club A, Anna DeLuna. For Washington Township A, Cadel Easterday. And for Michiana Stars A, it's Libby Marianne. So pretty sizable lead now for the team in lane 5, Washington Township A. Let's take a look at the anchor legs, the freestylers. For Fish Aquatics A, Becca Putman. For Irish Aquatics A, Emmy Richards. For Center Grove Aquatic Club A, Claire Brandon. For Washington Township A, Kaylee Spicer. And for Michiana Stars A, Violet Schultz. So the time final. All of these teams are eligible for the overall win in any of the heats. Washington Township A will win this first heat of time finals. 11-12 girls 200-meter medley relay. A good battle for second. The winning time is 2:33.04 for Washington Township A. Finishing second in lane 4 was Center Grove Aquatic A in a time of 2:25.21. Heat 2 now. In lane 1 we'll have Newburgh Sea Creatures A, led off by Jacqueline Hone. In lane 2, Southeastern Swim Club of Fishers B, led off by Julie Goss. Lane 3 is Zionsville Swim Club A with Annabelle Swinney on backstroke. Lane 4, Dunland B, led off by Maddie Buckley. Lane 5, Carmel B, led off by Savannah Irizarry. In lane 6, Fishers Area Swimming Tigers B, Mia Wilson on backstroke. Lane 7, Fort Wayne Swim A, led off by Katie Williams. And in lane 8, Carmel Swim Club C, led off by Samantha Powers. Somebody's going to have a huge advantage after the backstroke leg. Let's see who touches first down at the far end of the pool. It's going to be Zionsville Swim Club in 3. Let's take a look at your breaststrokers. For Newburgh Sea Creatures A, Zara Ahmad. For Southeastern Swim Club B, Grace Robinson. For Zionsville Swim Club A, Emma Lindeman. For Dunlin B, Maddie Moretz. For Carmel B, Madison Conley. For Fishers Area B, Claire Francis. For Fort Wayne A, Sadie Leininger. And for Carmel Swim Club C, Alex Hopwood. And in the lead now, I believe in lane 6 here, is Fishers Area Swimming Tigers B. Being challenged in lane 3 by Zionsville A as we head to the butterfly leg. Here are your butterflyers. For Newburgh Sea Creatures A, Macy Meyer. For Southeastern B, it's Haley Reed. For Zionsville A, Avery Christian. For Dunlin B, Mia Kirkham. For Carmel B, Sabrina Ledwith. For Fishers Area B, Emma Schwertfiger. For Fort Wayne A, Brooke Burrow. And for Carmel C, Jamie Clark. And maybe lane 3 who's gone to the lead, who's taken the lead back. That would be Zionsville A. Let's wait and see officially down at the far end of the pool. Well, we've got a touchpad malfunctioning again here. It's going to be Fishers Area with the lead in lane 6 as we go to the freestylers. Your freestylers for Newburgh Sea Creatures A, Lily Bratcher. For Southeastern B, Anaya Lammy. For Zionsville A, Ava Metzger. For Dunlin B, Mayetta Henderson. For Carmel B, Kayla Barr. For Fishers Area B, Mia Parker. For Fort Wayne A, Catherine Greenlee. And for Carmel C, Shayla Johnson. Great finish here at the end of this Heat 2. Girls 200-meter medley relay. The win goes to 220.64. Fishers Area Swimming Tigers B in lane 6. Again, the positions are not right on the scoreboard as we've got a lane 7 malfunctioning, I believe. But Fishers Area Swimming Tigers B wins that heat, the second heat, 220.64. That's the second and final heat of timed finals and preliminaries here for 11-12 girls in the 200-meter medley relay. Third heat swims tonight with finals. We move now to event 62, 11-12 boys 200-meter medley relay. We'll have 3 heats of timed finals here in preliminaries. In heat 1, lane 2, Carmel Swim Club F, led off by Braden Young. Lane 3, Carmel Swim Club E, led off by Riley Sweeney. Lane 6, Southeastern Swim Club B, led off by Daniel Harder. Lane 7, Valparaiso Swim Club B, led off by Patrick Thompson. Meet record set in 2013, it's 2:08:05. So we've got 3 heats of timed finals here in prelims. And then the 4th and final heat will swim the night with finals. This is event 62, 11-12 boys 200-meter medley relay. This is our final event of the prelims this morning here on this Saturday. In lane 3 with the lead, Carmel Swim Club E. Let's take a look at the breaststrokers for Carmel Swim Club F. It's Michael Kernedy. For Carmel Swim Club E, Taylor Owasi. For Southeastern Swim Club B, Aiden Stivers. And for Valparaiso Swim Club B, Ian Kennedy. Carmel Swim Club E in lane 3, your leader. Here in this first heat, 11-12 boys 200-meter medley relay. Carmel Swim Club E with the lead as we head to the breaststroke leg. Our breaststrokers for Carmel Swim Club F, Eric Zhu. For Carmel Swim Club E, Brian Kean. For Southeastern Swim Club B, Derek Robinson. And for Valparaiso Swim Club B, it's Henry Komanarek. Carmel Swim Club E leading at the end of the butterfly leg here. butterfly leg. I think I might have said breaststrokers. It's the butterfly leg. As we head to the freestyle leg now for Carmel Swim Club F, Juwan Sung. For Carmel Swim Club E, Thomas Zimmerman. For Southeastern Swim Club B, Christopher Dravis. And for Valparaiso B, it's Landon Schmiel. And now taking over the lead on this freestyle leg in lane 7 is Valparaiso. Good strong finish for them. Valparaiso B wins heat 1, 2:29.77. Second place, Carmel Swim Club E, and a time of 2:32.73. So a couple great legs to close out that relay there by Valparaiso Swim Club B. Heat 2 now. In lane 1, we have Highland Hurricanes A, led off by Maximus Cuban. In lane 2, Carmel Swim Club D, led off by William Lathrop. Lane 3, Fort Wayne Swim Team B, led off by Carson Collier. Lane 4, Duneland Swim Club A, led off by Kalen Barrier. Lane 5, Brownsburg B, led off by Josiah Bosom. Lane 6, SWAC Swim Team B, led off by Colin Walrund. Lane 7, Cardinal Community A, led off by Zach Beatty. And lane 8, Crown Point Swim Club A, led off by Carter Trippier. Backstrokers underway here. Heat 2, 11-12 boys, 200-meter medley relay. Breaststrokers ready on the far end. See if we can get an indication who's going to be leading here. It's going to be close after the backstroke leg. And it's going to be Duneland A in 4. Let's take a look at the breaststrokers. For Island Hurricanes A, Freddie Robinson. For Carmel B, Luke Feller. For Fort Wayne B, Ian Sather. For Duneland A, Evan Moody. For Brownsburg B, Ethan Hart. For SWAC B, it's Xander Tuttle. For Cardinal Community A, Henry Coe. For Crown Point A, William Tarrin. Let's see, it looks like maybe lanes 5, 6, and 1 battling for this lead here on this breaststroke leg. See who gets their hands on the touchpad first. It may be lane 1, and it's actually going to be lane 5, Brownsburg B. Let's take a look at the butterflyers. For Highland Hurricanes A, Sammy Zamito. For Carmel D, it's Alex Chen. For Fort Wayne B, Max Jackson Morris. For Duneland A, Amadeo Kincaid. For Brownsburg B, Parker Huff. For SWAC B, Everett Loney. For Cardinal Community A, Louis Zhang. For Crown Point A, it's Lucas Barnes. As we get ready for the freestyle leg down at the far end of the pool here in Heat 2. Looks like the lead in the middle of the pool, actually in lane 5, I believe, is going to be continued to be held by Brownsburg. Well, actually, it says lane 7, Cardinal Community grabbed the lead. Anchor legs for Highland Hurricanes A, Nicholas Sanchez. For Carmel D, Alex Lipkovich. For Fort Wayne B, Logan Parrish. For Duneland A, Lucas Royster. For Brownsburg B, Ethan Crane. For SWAC B, Hayden Lynham. For Cardinal Community A, Eli Brindley. And for Crown Point A, Liam Gubbins. This win is going to go to lane 5 here. It's going to be Brownsburg B with a time of 2:22.62. Second place is SWAC B in lane 6, 2:25.26. And that brings us to our final swim now of prelims on this Saturday morning. Heat 3 of time finals, 11-12 boys 200-meter medley relay. In lane 1, Zionsville B led off by Chase Wilson. Lane 2, Valparaiso A led off by Landon Holmes. Lane 3, LaPorte Community Turbos A led off by Andrew Hayes. Lane 4, Indiana Swim Club A led off by David Kovacs. Lane 5, Riviera Swim Team A led off by Noah Geppert. Lane 6, Carmel Swim Club B led off by Will Ladine. Lane 7 is Carmel Swim Club C, Luke Pugh on backstroke. And lane 8, Lake Central Barracudas A with Zach Verve lead on the lead-off leg. We're underway. The backstrokers are. By the way, the 4th heat of time finals, 11, 12-year-old boys 200-meter medley relays will swim tonight with finals. And at the far end of the pool. Let's see who has the lead after backstroke leg. It's going to be lane 8. That's the Lake Central Barracudas A team. Let's take a look at the breaststrokers for Zionsville B. Jack Mybeck. For Valparaiso A, George Patterson. For LaPorte Community A, Eva Sakim. For Indiana Swim Club A, Gavin Wilkins. For Riviera A, Andrew Byer. For Carmel B, Jack Keyser. For Carmel C, Brady Sweeney. And for Lake Central Barracudas A, it's Hayden Weber. Things changing now on the breaststroke leg. We've got a battle in lanes 3 and also in 2. Lane 3 with the lead, LaPorte Community A with Hakeem. Great breaststroke leg. He'll give his team the lead. Heading to the butterfly leg of the butterflyers for Zionsville B, Ike Berry. For Valparaiso A, Caden D. Summit. For LaPorte Community A, Otto Wildheart. For Indiana Swim Club A, Lucas Pagel. For Riviera A, Riley Letich. For Carmel Swim Club B, Anderson Kopp. For Carmel Swim Club C, it's Nick Kelly. And for Lake Central Barracudas A, Tim Hampton. Heading to the far end of the pool, it still looks like lane 3, LaPorte Community with the lead as we get ready for the anchor legs, the freestylers. For Zionsville B, Carter Miller. For Valparaiso A, Cade Kennedy. For LaPorte Community A, it's Roberto Smeartelny. For Indiana Swim Club A, Kean Cadlick. For Riviera A, Eddie Willis. For Carmel B, it's Ethan Zhang. For Carmel C, Zach Welch. And for Lake Central Barracudas A, Colin Gallagher. Lanes 4 and 5 battling for the win now. Indiana Swim Club A in 4 and Riviera A in 5. They're going to battle right to the touchpad here on this final race of the prelims on Saturday morning. Who's going to get it? It's going to be Indiana Swim Club A in lane 4 with the win. They close with a 30.87 on the anchor leg to win the heat, 2:19.06. That's Indiana Swim Club A finishing second, Riviera A in a time of 2:19.27. So a great anchor leg swim there for Indiana Swim Club A to win that heat. 11-12 boys, 200-meter medley relay. Actually, I was mistaken. We've actually got another age group yet left for the we've got the 13-14 girls and guys in the 200-meter medley relay. So that was not the final swim of prelims. I apologize. Let's heat 1 here, 13-14 girls 200-meter medley relay. In lane 3, Center Grove Aquatic Club A, led off by Grace DeLuna. Lane 4, Lake Central Barracudas A, led off by Brenna Pacheco. Lane 5, Riviera A, led off by Bridget Collins. Backstrokers underway. Breaststrokers now. In lane 3 for Center Grove Aquatic Club A, it's Ellie Nguyen. For Lake Central Barracudas A, Taylor Stasny. And for Riviera A, Ellie Hellman. We've got 3 heat. It's the time finals. 13-14 girls, 200-meter medley relay. 4th heat will swim tonight with finals. Center Grove Aquatic Club A with the lead here in lane 3. Let's take a look at the butterflyers. For Center Grove Aquatic Club A, Laura Phipps. For Lake Central Barracudas A, Abby Harkema. And for Riviera A, it's Kiera Kask. Big lead for Center Grove Aquatic Club A here in this opening heat. In lane 3, the freestylers. For Center Grove Aquatic Club A, Grace Clarkston. For Lake Central Barracudas A, Leah Decker. And for Riviera A, Alice O'Brien. Meet record in this event is 2:00.20 set in 2012. Again, this is heat 1, 13-14 girls 200-meter medley relay time finals. Center Grove Aquatic Club A will win this heat in lane 3. They'll set the time to beat for the rest of the field. And their winning time will be 2:11.08. Second place to Lake Central Barracudas A in a time of 2:14.38. Heat 2. Lane 1, Boilermaker Aquatics A, led off by Lauren Salazar. Lane 2, Plainfield Community Aquatics A, led off by Jaden Russell. Lane 3, Fort Wayne Swim Team D, led off by Delaney Sandberg. Lane 4, Irish Aquatics A, led up by Olivia Elston. Lane 5, Franklin Regional A, led up by Amelia Edens. Lane 6, Terre Haute Torpedoes A, led up by Nevia Loritzen. Lane 7 is Westfield Aquatics A, led up by Alexa Boylet. Far end of the pool. The lead after the backstroke leg will be established by, looks like lane 4, Irish Aquatics. Let's take a look at your breaststrokers. Boilermaker Aquatics A, Mia Thompson. For Plainfield Community A, Taylor Brackney. For Fort Wayne D, Morgan DeWald. For Irish A, Lily Christensen. For Franklin Regional A, Allison Lacey. For Terre Haute Torpedoes A, Demi Hansewick. And for Westfield Aquatics A, Annie Spolito. We've got lanes 1 and 4 battling closely here. The end of the breaststroke leg. The lead will still belong with Irish A in lane 4. Let's take a look at the butterflyers. For Boilermaker A, Kelsey Wasikowski. For Plainfield A, Haley Meyer. For Fort Wayne D, Christina Baranda. For Irish Aquatics A, Kaya Podlin. For Franklin Regional A, Chloe Thane. For Terre Haute Torpedoes A, Lyric Irish. And for Westfield Aquatics A, Isabella Amaya. Irish Aquatics A in the lead in lane 4. The freestylers, your anchor legs. For Boilermaker Aquatics A, Zoe Retzloff. For Plainfield Community A, it's Jossie Ayob. For Fort Wayne D, Paige Jennings. For Irish Aquatics A, Cece Farrell. For Franklin Regional A, Ella DeJean. For Terre Haute Torpedoes A, Claire Parsons. And for Westfield Aquatics A, it's Katie Peck. I think Irish Aquatics A is they're going to take a close win here in Heat 2. Their winning time, 2:07.79, finishing second in the heat in lane 1. Boilermaker Aquatics A in a time of 2:09.33. That moves us to Heat 3. 13-14 girls 200-meter medley relay. Final heat for this event in prelims. Again, Heat 4 swims with finals tonight. In lane 1, Zionsville Swim Club A, led off by Katie Baroker. Lane 2, Concord Swim Club A, led off by Ella Lance. Lane 3 is Fisher's Area Swimming Tigers A, led off by JoJo Ramey. Lane 4, Munster Swim Club A, led off by Angelica Rezenikowski. Lane 5 is Duneland Swim Club A, led off by Anna Wheel. Lane 6, Indiana Swim Club A with Pippa Wasana Somsiti on leadoff. Lane 7 is Carmel Swim Club C, led off by Ellie Overbeck. And lane 8, Fort Wayne Swim Club C, led off by Addie Burrow. Your lead belongs to Fisher's Area Swimming Tigers A in 3. Your breaststrokers now. For Zionsville A, it's Madeline Aiken. For Concord A, Bella Sponsailor. For Fisher's Area A, Kate Mouser. For Munster A, Casey McNulty. For Duneland A, Rachel Dildine. For Indiana Swim Club A, Chloe Talbot. For Carmel C, Allie Inge. And for Fort Wayne Swim C, it's Tia Hoffman. Your breaststrokers. Good competitive heat. Looks like maybe lane 3 with the lead, Fisher's Area A. Let's take a look at the butterflyers. For Zionsville A, Claire McAfee. For Concord A, Jordan Kozik. For Fisher's Area A, Lisa Bradford. For Munster A, Priscilla Zavala. For Duneland A, Jordan Alders. For Indiana Swim Club A, Ashley Friel. For Carmel C, Sydney Warnicki. And for Fort Wayne C, it's Jayla Morris. So this continues to be a tight race. Let's take a look at the anchor legs, the freestylers. For Zionsville A, Maggie Hadley. For Concord A, Audrey Lance. For Fisher's Area A, Avery Stein. For Munster A, Jasmine Wegman. For Duneland A, Sierra Jones. For Indiana Swim Club A, Annie Murrer. For Carmel C, Kate Harrison. And for Fort Wayne C, Allison Williams. The lead right now in lane 5 is Duneland A with their anchor leg swimmer Sierra Jones. And she has about a body length lead as she heads to the touchpad and is going to give their team the win here in this heat. The winning time for Duneland, 2:07.28. That's Duneland A. Second place in lane 6 with Indiana Swim Club A and a time of 2:08.82. Event 64 now. 13-14 boys in the 200-meter medley relay. We have 2 heats of time finals being swum in prelims this morning. The third heat will swim with finals. Meet record set in 2016 is 1:51.78. In heat 1, lane 1 will be open, lane 1 and 8 open. Lane 2, Riviera Swim Team B, led off by Chance Buckles. Lane 2, Pro Swimming A, led off by David Sun. Lane 4, Fishers Area Swimming Tigers A, led off by Hunter Hollowell. Lane 5, Three Rivers Aquatic Club A, led off by Adam McCurdy. Lane 6, Westfield Aquatics A, led off by Ben Morrison. And lane 7, Zionsville Swim Club B, led off by Alika Lee. Those are your backstrokers, and we're ready to go here for heat 1. Good backstroke leg here in lane 5 by by Three Rivers Aquatic Club A. And let's take a look at the breaststrokers. For Riviera B, Aaron Losell. For Pro Swimming A, Colin Fleming. For Fishers Area A, Keaton Chop. For Three Rivers Aquatic Club A, Nick Eddy. For Westfield Aquatics A, it's Aiden Yonkus. And for Zionsville Swim Club B, Ethan Hatchett. Big lead right now for the team in lane 5. That's Three Rivers Aquatic Club A here in this opening heat. 13-14 boys, 200-meter medley relay. Second place in lane 3 belongs to Pro A. Let's take a look at the butterflyers. For Riviera B, David Dierks. Pro A, it's Alex Fleming. For Fishers Area A, Chris Tran. For Three Rivers Aquatic Club A, it's Joey Ames. For Westfield Aquatics A, it's Colin Kamek. And for Zionsville Swim Club B, Walker Matthijs. And this is a pretty dominating opening heat swim right now, and it probably will lead to a win for Three Rivers Aquatic Club A in 5. Let's take a look at the freestylers. For Riviera B, Jude Bearden. For Pro A, Chris Howe. For Fishers Area A, Taichi Katoka. For Three Rivers Aquatic Club A, Riley Foote. For Westfield Aquatics A, Cameron Wheat. And for Zionsville Swim Club B, Chris Baroker. So Three Rivers Aquatic Club A will win this opening heat in lane 5 in a winning time of 2:06.79. Second place to Fishers Area A in 4, 2:10.82 their time. Heat 2 in lane 1, Indiana Swim Club A led off by Ben Bueller. Lane 2, Franklin Regional A led off by Jacob Meinzinger. Lane 3 is Newburgh Sea Creatures A led off by Seth Cannon. Lane 4, Center Grove Aquatic Club A, led off by Angelo Lawrence. Lane 5, Southeastern Swim Club of Fishers A, led off by Charlie Rogers. Lane 6, Fort Wayne Swim Team A, Evan Bouchon on backstroke. Lane 7, Noblesville Swim Club A, led off by Caleb Matheson. And lane 8, Flashes Aquatics A, with J.V. Shepard on backstroke. This will be our final swim of preliminaries this morning. Heat 2, 13-14 boys, 200-meter medley relay. At the far end of the pool, it's going to be Newburgh Sea Creatures A in lane 3 with the lead. Let's take a look at the breaststrokers. For Indiana Swim Club A, Jeremiah Boshears. For Franklin Regional A, Franco Chirinos. For Newburgh Sea Creatures A, Adam McCabe. For Center Grove Aquatic Club A, Aiden Linus. For Southeastern Swim Club A, Skylar Ding. For Fort Wayne Swim Team A, Owen Danker. For Noblesville A, Aiden Biddle. And for Flashes Aquatics A, it's Tice Treadway. Good battle here, lanes 3 and 6. That's Newburgh Sea Creatures A and Fort Wayne A. Let's take a look at your butterflyers. For Indiana A, Emil Haig. For Franklin Regional A, Daniel Utterback. For Newburgh Sea Creatures A, Sakith Reddy. For Center Grove Aquatic Club A, Evan Hernandez. For Southeastern Swim Club A, Jack Warren. For Fort Wayne A, Aiden Ebert. For Noblesville A, Luke Whitlock. And for Flashes Aquatics A, it's Trevor Wiley. Strong butterfly leg out of lane 1, Emil Haig. See if he gives his team the lead. He does. Our anchor legs for Indiana A, it's Ahmad Belushi. For Franklin Regional A, Brady Campbell. For Newburgh A, it's Ryan Feller. For Center Grove A, Jonah Brandon. For Southeastern A, Ian Ross. For Fort Wayne A, Isaiah Peterson. For Noblesville A, Greg Enoch. And for Flashes Aquatics A, Grady Thompson. This battle continues between lanes 3 and 6, right to the touchpad here. Who's going to out-touch whom? The win will go to Fort Wayne A in lane 6 in a time of 2:04.95 for Fort Wayne Swim Team A. Second place in lane 3 goes to Newburgh Sea Creatures A in a time of 2:05.31. And third place in lane 8 was Flashes Aquatics A with a time of 2:06.67. And that's going to wrap up preliminary coverage here on this Saturday morning here at the 2019 Indiana Swimming Age Group Long Course Championship, sponsored by Speedo and Hendricks Regional Health. And we want to remind everybody that we'll have coverage of the 10 and under timed finals meet this Saturday session. That's going to start at 2 p.m. here today here on this Saturday. That's the 10 and unders timed finals Saturday session at 2 p.m. here on the Indiana Swimming YouTube channel. I want to thank Adrian Jarding, who helped me out with play-by-play and also running the production truck and switching the cameras. And that's going to wrap things up here this morning from prelims on Saturday morning. We'll see you later this afternoon at 2 p.m. for the 10 and under session, and then later tonight for finals, which starts at 5 p.m. I'm Eric Eaton saying so long, everyone, and thanks for watching here from the IU Natatorium.